Welcome out, gamers and gamettes, to this RGLgg Invite Highlander playoffs match. We're casting the first round of the lower bracket tonight, Froggieland versus the Frauds. I am Alto, joined by Zag to my side, Dolphin behind the camera as always. Zag, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. A bit tired today. Woke up very early, but just in time for some Highlander action on the usual Monday night. This matchup is going to be pretty interesting in my book because I'd say both these teams are probably the most evenly matched teams in the playoffs.
All right, good to hear. Yeah, we were talking right before we came in that I actually haven't seen the Frauds all season, having missed the past really 4 matches that were casted the last 3 weeks and the first match of last week's doubleheader. So I am not very familiar with the Frauds, but I know you, as you said, have some high expectations for this one. So let's get right into it with the rosters and the maps then. So on the side of Froggieland, it will be Technomo on Scout, Catalyst on Soldier, Pyrus on Pyro, Townsy on Demo, Moist on Heavy, Exa Engineer, Virgil on Medic, the SAR back on Sniper, and Construed on Spy.
And over on the Frauds is going to be Yate on Scout, Poseidon ringing in on Soldier, Melon on Pyro, Kira on Demo Man, Poi on Heavy, Rebel on Engineer, Exile on Medic, Arbiter on Sniper, and Fish on Spy.
And that is the same Poseidon playing Soldier for Frauds that had that 970 DPM half on Sniper for Froggieland just last week. So gonna have to see if
Which way the tide rolls this
if
time
Poseidon,
around.
if Poseidon was actually just a spy the entire time, and as
Sniper, Soldier, and now Spy. He's playing everything these playoffs, but to see how he fares against Catalyst and the Soldiery Soldier. But I want to talk about the maps real quick because we do have the pick ban in order. Frauds, early Swiftwater ban, that's expected. They don't necessarily like Koth that much, and Swiftwater was just one of their weaker ones. Froggieland, they got destroyed last week on Vigil. We saw it. They got out of there real quick. Or they took out Asheville rather, and then we were starting on Vigil here, first map of the night. Frauds responded with Product, which I think is a very good pick for them, and I would call them the favorites on that one. We have a Prude ban, and then the last one was between Upward and Steel, and then Froggieland chose Steel, so that will be our tiebreaker if needed.
interesting to me that Proot was banned here. As you come into it, right, and as we saw last week, last week very clearly painted Froggieland as the payload team, and then Squirty as a Koth team. And coming into this with Frauds banning Swiftwater, you'd say, okay, well then they banned Swiftwater pick product. You're thinking, okay, well then it's going to be something really similar to what we saw last week, but they actually end up banning Proot, leaving up Steel and Upward, I want to say.
Yep,
Which,
Steel and
granted, as we've discussed a couple times, Froggieland would have had the option of forcing double stopwatch if they wanted, and I imagine they would have, even if Proot was left unbanned. But interesting to me that Frauds actually gave them the option of picking between Steel and Upward rather than, banning one of them and working under the assumption that Froggieland probably wasn't going to pick Proot regardless after their loss to it in the regular season to Squirtier. So interesting there. And
yeah, because that last team gets to force double stopwatch always if they want to. As the team coming in, if you don't want to play stopwatch but you're forced to, you kind of just ban the one you want to play less and give yourself the best odds on your favorite stopwatch. But yeah, they give Froggieland the choice of which one to play. Ended up being Steel, so we'll see if that one ends up biting them in the end, or if we maybe not even get there.
Yeah, and I think we made a lot about how interesting last week's Steel would have been had Froggieland been able to win on Upward and push it to that third map, assuming that they probably would have lost on Asheville regardless. But Steel, I think, is an interesting pick for them. Yes, they lost Upward to Squirtier last week, but, their Steel hasn't been proven yet. So, still interesting to see how that turns out. But, again, I think, as you said, looking into it, it is going to be a little bit difficult after how Squirtier played last week for me to really see them as favorites on product yet. Their Koth on Asheville was okay, right? They were pretty close to taking a couple of rounds off of Squirtier, but ultimately they were just getting outplayed throughout all of it. And while, the Frauds are a weaker team coming in as the 4 seed instead of as the 3, it will be interesting to see how they play that. But again, they need to, unlike last week, they really need to take Vigil first here.
Yeah, Froggieland, if they go down early here, they're going to be pretty much in the dumpster. They are going to be at the mercy of Frauds on their product pick. potentially getting 0-2'd for the second straight week and going out of playoffs in 4th place if that were to be the case. Remember, this is a lower bracket match. Both teams have already lost one, meaning one more loss, and your season is over. They're going to be going home in 4th place, not taking home the medal or the prize money. So this match has a lot on the line.
Yep, and then the winner, as this kind of has to be the case, will place at least third, and we'll play the loser of Team Fun versus Scortia in the upper bracket tonight, which I thought was very interesting that the teams agreed to just do triple Koth. So I think it's going to be Asheville, Product, Prude, and Asheville in that order, I believe it was. So that should be a fairly quick match. So we'll either give updates on that or chat can do it for us. But I would expect that match to be finished before this one, regardless.
Yeah, the triple Koth, and you gotta imagine it's going to only 2. They probably just agreed on those terms to get this one over with. But yeah, either way, this is the match we're gonna be focusing on here tonight. Froggieland, and we do have almost all 18 players in the server. I want to talk about some of the players I want to look at real quick because you mentioned me and Godfather had a couple chances to see Frogs towards the end of the season, and also like a bit of a sneak peek in that week 1 playoffs preview we did. But with this team, I want to point out a couple things. First of all, from what we saw in the match against Team Fun, where Frauds took the first ever round off Fun the entire season from any team on Product, I actually saw Exile on Medic being a standout player. I joke about Exile and Demoman, he dies all the time, he's on a respawn timer, part of it is in good fun, but part of it, obviously every stereotype comes from something that you saw previously. Exile just tended to die a lot on Demoman. I thought he played phenomenally on Medic in that match against the best team in the league. So I'm going to be looking at Exile here to get a big ad for his team.
Now, and I don't want to say this now as a gotcha moment because I just realized this myself, but Froggieland did 4-1 Frauds just about 3 weeks ago on Product. So I'd like to just, with that fact in mind that I wasn't aware of when we were talking about them, what gives you the confidence that something's changed between that week and now that would still lead to Frauds being the favorites on Product?
I believe they have the 950 DPM sniper on their team as Soldier this time around, so I think it's pretty simple. But with that, the gates are going to be getting started here. Vigil getting ready. It's going to be Frauds on red side, Froggieland on blue side. Match getting started right here.
Should be a close one here, I can hope. One can hope, as it's like Virgil. I mean, crits on offense and spawn. Wonder if that's just to get the
spawn
Ubers
points.
in. No, pops it immediately. Banny binds. Oh, that's some fast building tech there. Are you watching that? Pops the crits immediately. Banny binds
so
to
you have
reset
to wait
it.
for it to
Exactly.
you get one extra
exactly.
crit point
Does
off.
it again? Oh, that's 2 already.
4 points on the score for Virgil. That's
Virgil gets
Exiles.
3 crits and then swaps to Uber because it only takes about 12 seconds to build. That is talented. Now, the real question is you could just go Vaxi.
That's true. If you really wanted to build those spawn points,
And then you really
later.
skew the logs because you've got 20 Ubers every round, even though 18 of them are pregame Vaxis. But
I like that. It's a big old middle.
anyway,
tier 2
while that was
log
happening, setup's
analyzers.
pretty standard from the defense.
Yep, sentry gun's really far back. It's not actually going to catch any bombers until they're in the corridor where the defense holds. Sniper Arbiter posting up on a passive angle, just looking for anyone bombing over the hill. Bit of a flank fight going down. Star actually pre-fired Arbiter and gets the first kill of the match. High bomb coming up from Catalyst again, gets in front of that sentry gun, gets gunned down by Yate. So 1-for-1 trade, make that a 1-for-2 as Contrube gets found out and chased down. Double kill for Yate at the end of this one, but just gonna be a bit of flank fighting, nothing too much going on.
Good from Fish. Got Technomo on cart. That is, gonna stall it by a couple seconds, right? Yeah, just even at only ×2 now as Cattle is forced to kind of cap it in instead means that you don't have that soldier getting forward, so a couple knockdown effects from that. Fish managed to live as well. Actually gets his knife, gets his bicycle melted by a blind flare. Good spy sense coming out of Pyrus there, but not going to be able to catch him. Point gets capped in 56 seconds, so normally you see 45, 50? Maybe those a couple seconds, maybe that's something good.
They're rushing through tunnel. They want to catch up as fast as they can, but the big sticky trap going to take down half of the Sackers. It's just Townsy in alone right now. Takes a rocket, takes some fire, gets taken down. Not too much damage being dealt. Contrube going to stay alive in the backline for the main push. So Sack not too successful. Good sticky trap by Kira on that end.
Yep, as a cart now pushed up pretty much up until, as far as it's going to get in tunnel without any real kind of effort from the offense's side. Sidon playing on ground, they're looking to spam in instead of on the rock. Poi is playing to defend side tunnel, but not super close to it, which is, C teams have a couple different variations.
It's the anti-bomb spot for the heavy. He's going to be safe in that shredder instead of dying instantly to these side tunnel pushers. Gun going to go down without the exchange on it. Uber exchange, meanwhile, has gone off over the hill. Later, Uber for Exile and the Frauds, they're going to be up to end on their hill, but they're losing players. Fish and Poseidon have both gone down. With Poseidon going down, he's not going to have that crucial post-Uber banner anymore. Moist now walking up through side tunnel, taking some damage, going to be up with his team. And just that one push from Froggieland is going to be enough to take him off this hill.
Yeah, interesting. I'm not entirely... I'm a little surprised that forced them to back out there. Cart is going to get capped up by Exa and Conster now, yeah. Poseidon coming in, going to get 4, actually, before he goes down. But that early death, losing the banner must have made Frauds feel really uncomfortable holding that. It looked like they had the numbers advantage there. Maybe they lost positioning as they got forced out a bit.
Conster going for Arbiter pick. Arbiter has the Turtle Beaches on. Turns around, doesn't get backstabbed. That's a good way to avoid dying there, because if your sniper goes down, all of a sudden you're very scared about what's going on at this locker's area with Sar being escorted out.
I agree that turning around to not get stabbed is in fact a good way to not die, as
hey, most sniper players don't know that, so I mean, they should take a note out of this book.
Lots of flank pressure coming in from Froggy right there, though, and Poi gonna be hit up low, gets that pack, but look at this forward Uber being taken out. They're gonna discover Moist in the corner here, takes out the fist. Is he gonna live? No, we'll go down eventually, but most of that Uber was spent just killing Moist in the corner there. They are gonna pick up Catalyst on the side there, but Virgil did not have to use. So it's a full ad coming in right here. Pyrus gonna drop as well, so the bleeding continues for Froggieland.
They're gonna use 2 brackets onto the sentry gun. So very forward gun placement here, just designed to absorb the pressure. It does get taken down, and Frogs, they're trying to walk back out with their demo man. He's getting some spam on the cart. Kieran needs assistance, so Catalyst goes forward, right back out just as soon as he was in. Poseidon gonna drop down on Moist and take out that big heavy off Cart. Meanwhile, X's mini sentry is actually running rampant. A 2K onto Fish and Poseidon. Cart almost up the hill, being kept up there by Pyrus. Pyrus doing a lot of work air blasting back off the edge. Melon needs to contest this for a second. Here it doesn't have anything loaded. Cart, oh, it's so close to moving down the hill.
Constud spent this entire time attempting to spawn camp last. Waiting for a potential, back out through the spawn door. Eventually goes back in, but the cart gets up the hill. Uber popped coming in here, but the cart inches away, not yet capped. Pyrus doing his best to get it close, but they're going to back off it. Technomo will cap that up, and now Conster finally coming in for the big moment, not going to find anything. But Technomo getting forward, able to clean up some of that damage. Arbiter and Kira both go down. That's a large amount of classes down. Some of them spawning in, but Demo Scout, Demo Sniper, both dead. Forward pressure in from the SAR, looking into last. Gonna see if this can be snowballed into anything.
Yet the decision from Frogs to go back in when the cart is basically already capped. You can't actually stop the offense from capping the cart if it makes it up that hill, because they can just sack around the corner on you over and over, and they will get it. So they wait too long, they waste their Uber, and now Virgil and Froggieland have a 50-60% ad to work with, getting that cart pushed up main as much as they can. They want to Uber through Red Room right here.
Yeah, coming in too, and they do have the big bomb coming in up top as well.
I like the kiting.
Catalyst, this is the ideal kite, I would say. You take it into the flank room. You have high ground in the flank, but coming in, Moist able to take out Boy and Catalyst. Yeah, coming in from behind. That's the issue, is that if you're playing there, you got to go in and get those frags earlier, or else you can get wrapped from a lot of different angles. That's exactly what happens, and Froggieland caps up in 5-12.
Yeah, definitely a good opener from Froggieland there. Good execution on pretty much everything. No real mistakes coming out. This is their map pick, so kind of expected, but just how clean that was definitely impressive in the end.
Yeah, just a good, ad push coming in. And a little bit shaky from the Frauds. It felt like that. I'm still not entirely sure why they were forced out of second. And then, as you said, that Uber coming into third. I like the aggression from it, but just didn't really feel like the time with how things were set up. And then last, they had that really good kite, but just they weren't able to convert on anything, and Poi losing the 1v1 to Moist there on that right outside of kind of big door area, it really stung them, I think.
Yeah, it's actually pretty funny, right? Because we saw as soon as second got capped up, right, they chose to back out with even Ubers, their medic alive, and they were holding third. They tried to take the aggressive Uber into the offensive flank, and it didn't work out. And from there, they never had Uber, like an even Uber exchange again. They lost third, while they're waiting for their Uber to come up so they could Uber onto the point. They didn't have it in time. Then they lost last without even getting their Uber because Exile was still on like charging time from the previous one. So just bad Uber management and bad decisions being made from Frogs there cost them pretty much everything, and that's how Vigil works. If you get a bad start on one of the Vigil points and get snowballed through, you will get that 5-minute time against you.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'd still love to go back and just review what happened on second to see really how that fight went out, because I remember they had the numbers at it. I thought they were going to have positioning, but I guess not. As thought I saw crits for a sec, but no, that was just the festive lights. But Townsy gets sniped out by Arbiter, a little bit too aggressive on the peak.
Well, sorry, trades one back, so both
yeah, sorry,
men just
trade right back
eating bullets.
Arbiter, though, now on to Technomo. So Frag's coming in right here for Frogs. Cart being pushed up. It looks like the defense has already just given up first, so...
Yeah, pretty normal, pretty fine.
They've got a faster pace through one, at least.
Yeah, Spy in over the top. Catalyst had the whip out, ends up taking Fish down, not able to find that pick onto either the banner or the sniper, which would have been big. Here comes the Saku tunnel. Great reflect sends Poseidon into the skybox.
Oh, look at Melon just jumped around, tried to get something.
Luckily for them, though, Virgil is sitting in the spawn shooter area, so no Sack can get on. Banner does get popped up by Catalyst to negate any damage that they took, so does build that one up fast. Won't have it for post coming up here, but definitely was of use.
It was a really slick move from Melon. Didn't get anything, but... yeah, potentially could have just owned someone had they really been sitting there. But yeah, Exile playing too far back for anything to actually threaten him there. As bit of a, quiet moment here, but yeah, it looks like Frogs realize they gotta go and they pop in over hill.
Yep, trying to get the exchange. Going to be a response from Pyrus, taking the solo into the enemy combo, pushing them all down the hill. Contra goes for his decloak and picks up Kira and Exile. Big play in the post-Uber from the Spy of Froggieland, buying his team a massive Uber ad on the second defense. Remember, the time was 5 minutes for their offense. If they hold second for one more push, realistically, they've already won the round.
Yeah, it would take a 9-man disconnect levels of collapse really to lose third and, to lose all 3 points in that short of a time. But, the Ubers have been exchanged here. Virgil has a decent-sized ad, but Poseidon coming in for that sack. Good reflex, but makes it in deep.
Reflex.
And, Pyrus saving Virgil right there. Great reflex coming out from the Pyro there. This sack finding absolutely nothing. Catalyst will get taken out by Poi, but that's really it. And even Poi goes down, trying to back out as Sar gets the fadeaway. Construed looking to go in deep, get some comms from that backline, but yeah, things are looking bleak already, and Sar finding Kira too.
He's so far forward? Well, yeah, he got that snipe from Tunnel and sniped him on the way through, so Kira gonna be put on the respawn timer. Doesn't matter too much, Exile still charging up the Uber. Realistically, Frogs have one more push to try and make this happen. They're waiting for Kira to get up. They need their Dome Man. Once they do looks like they're trying to stack some people in Tunnel. They're going to go bottom hill. Remember, they need to get the gun. They need to force the Uber out of Virgil somewhat early. Sar, though, swinging wide, misses the shot. They're going to go right away.
Oh, this is a solo med demo, and Pyrus, just having none of it. They do bring Melon in, and she's going to try to stall it a bit, but really just no ground gained at all. Poi catches that Construct in the backline.
Are they going to go? They have to get the gun down. He does
they have to.
Sar goes down as well. Good plays by Fish. Gonna get unsacked though. Yeah, they're trying to sack onto the card. His numbers add for Frogs right now. They do have control of the hill on top of it, and with Virgil dead, Exile can start building this Uber ad. Round is not over quite yet. They got the push when they needed it, and they have Uber to snowball. We'll see how far they can get forward if they can actually get stickies onto the shutter. Doesn't look like that's going to be the case right away. Soldier going to be trying to bomb up, but Catalyst, he's caught out of position. He'll get taken down. They will trade onto Poseidon, though, so at least offensive Soldier going to go down.
Yeah, this is, real fire that Frogs are playing with right here. It's just Kira and, deleted right there. And that's going to, end any attempts at a snowball. 120. Minute 20 left on the clock right here. As I think it's still theoretically possible as, server lag. No pause yet, but gonna require a near constant ×3, but Exile has ad here.
That's a good pick by Fish onto Moist. When that heavy is off of the brackets rock, all of a sudden you can walk flank for free. And that's what they're going to do. They're going to put Kira through with Ubered into brackets, trying to get the sentry gun taken down. Pyrus is doing, once again, a great job at stuffing the Uber. Loses his life in the end for it as he should, but done very low. Needs to get wrangled. They're stacking onto the card. This needs to get capped up now if they want any help. Melon is a big tool here with the air blast that she can get the players off the cart, and it will get capped up just in time. Virgil now has the Uber, but not enough players to contend. Sentry gun goes on a 6k, but going to get taken down. Doesn't actually stop the point capture. So 36 seconds. It is possible for the card to not stop moving, and Virgil has full Uber.
if they have the ×3 on it, but no, Yate gets off of it. Yate, you gotta get back on, buddy.
Constru one.
That's on you. And Constru finds Arbiter. Yeah, that sniper pick gonna be really big for just allowing Froggieland to exist here. They want for Toy, Kira, Melon all going down. Gotta imagine that's gonna be it. Any hopes of the miracle push are gonna be ended right there. Still some good card time, but no longer enough.
Virgil says Uber, they just got to right click and jump on it, which is exactly what they're going to do here in just a second. That's going to be round one, going in favor of Froggieland. Got a bit closer in the end. You know, things could flip either way on Vigil if the defense goes a bit better for Frauds, but yeah, it will be Froggieland getting the upper hand.
Yeah, I mean, again, yeah, that offense definitely had some signs of life. That kind of desperation second push with about 2.5 minutes left turned out really well. Just, you know, I liked they took the Uber in, and it was literally just med demo. And into a Pyro, you're not going to get anything with that. You know, Pyros did a great job denying every single hill Uber, but eventually Frauds just said, okay, screw it, send 7 people hill, you know, coordinate that with a sap on the gun, and just, you know, kind of human wave them. And that's exactly what worked. They were able to find Virgil, get a ton of picks, and that gave them momentum to get into third as well. And while, you know, their defense time wasn't long enough for that to really work with their initial troubles on second, and the fact that they still have to go through last, you know, it is signs of life for them for next round.
Yeah, and credit goes to Fish on that second as well, because he got the sap, the sniper, and the demo pick, I believe, with the revolver right before he went down, so giving his team a lot of advantages to work with. Logs up on your screen right now. Townsy actually did a lot more damage than Kira. That's a lot more than I was expecting he'd do, but yeah, you're on the winning team on payload. You got to defend for longer than the other team. You do more damage, but that's just a lot of damage out that he's giving his team overall.
Yeah, it felt like Kira was always kind of dead at inopportune moments too. Sar found a lot of picks, just not able to really get in there and get full damage out over the course of a long fight. Whereas Townsy just, you know, less deaths in the first place, but even then those happened to be when a lot of the team was dying anyway.
Yeah, and again, the main thing I want to focus on with this Vigil half that we just saw is that both teams pushed this in about 5 to 6 minutes, right? Like, if that round extended, you'd imagine it would take, like, 2 pushes for Frauds to actually get it in there. Maybe it extends to 7 if they don't hit it in time, but basically, it feels like either team could have won that round from, like, a baseline where, like, I didn't see anyone outplaying super hard to the point where, like, they're overwhelmingly strong in comparison to their opponents here. Froggieland obviously looked more prepared. This is their map pick in the end, and their offense just looked like the response that Frauds had on defense wasn't up to par. But even so, if their offense can get those kind of 6-minute average times, all they need is to not get snowballed through every point past second on Vigil, and all of a sudden they're competitive.
Yeah, I'm just pointing out that the logs that you guys that are up on screen did Flu Walrus a favor and omitted him from the stats as not his finest moment there. But
engineer gameplay, hit the sentry gun. Exo 11, Exo top frag for Froggy. I saw this mini going. Wait,
yeah,
he had the sentry gun that killed 6 people on third, right?
Yeah.
So of those 11 kills, I know 8 of them were from sentry guns on third.
Yeah. So you know
that's pretty funny.
The gun does its own work. As I remember, even when they lost third at the end there, the fight started with a sap on X's gun. X unsapped it and died, but the gun didn't until the
the gun got 6 kills and then
so
they capped over.
Stayed alive. But
yeah, it's pretty funny.
I mean, Frauds, it really is just playing tighter, and you got to get a second hold going.
Yeah, I want to really zoom in on. Well, we're gonna see them on offense here to start, so we won't see it until the second half of the round coming up here when they're on offense or when they're on defense again. Rather, you mentioned I really want to see what their second looks like and why they gave it up like that, because the staple of Vigil over the course of its existence in Highlander, the meta's developed in a way where like second really does require multiple pushes to take, because you have to exchange the Uber. You don't get much space on the first Uber because your walk-ups on offense are so unfavorable. You try to get the card as far as you can, you try to get whatever picks you can, and you try to just run it back in dry pushing, right? So the fact that they got it with the first exchange and had enough positioning to actually just take the point all right there, it means that something was done wrong by Frauds. Like, they weren't holding position in post like they should have. So I want to see if they learn from their mistakes, they recognize their mistakes, and what they want to do about it. Because again, like you said, you need to hold second for longer than just, one Uber. Otherwise, your time is not going to be looking that good.
It's actually something I want to talk about, yeah, is that I don't necessarily agree that Vigil Second needs multiple Ubers, but it does need multiple pushes.
Yeah.
Right? Because you almost never see... I feel like more often than not, teams have been getting second off of dry pushes.
Yeah, because you
exchange, maybe you get a pick or two, right? Maybe you get the gun, and then you reset and go in for that dry push, because the defense having Uber, I feel like, ends up meaning more than the offense, just kind of by the way we've been seeing the point play out. But they lost that off of the Uber push. And I think we saw Froggieland be a lot more aggressive with how forward Pyrus was on hill denying space. Whereas I think Frauds gave up a lot of that, to make sure they didn't take any bad fights. And, you kind of got to just go for it at that point. But Flu Horus and his tele entrance apparently nuked out of the gate.
Yeah.
So, the bad luck continues for Flu. But otherwise, looks like a lot flooding flank. Again, 5 players actually already over there.
Standing up for 6 players right here. Takes a shot and gets out of dodge. Catalyst is on the black box banner again. Something interesting is we saw that for Poseidon, he was actually on original
Fish with the
banner.
decloak.
Fish,
not gonna find it.
Yeah, you kind of need someone on your team to distract for that one, but yeah, either way, Fish not gonna find it. I'd much prefer in this case for the spy to just wait, because the team always sacks, right? The offense always sacks here while they're waiting for the card to go through tunnel. So why not just have your spy go with that? I just don't like the spy going early. Like, yeah, so like 1 in a million you get the cheesy med pick, but consistency is key. And either way, Fish, will they get him up in time for the sack? It looks like he will be, but he's gonna have to go through the tunnel dangerously.
Yeah, going for a little bit of a longer way around going uphill. Arbiter finds SAR, so no sniper already. He's put things in favor of Frauds right here. Maybe he won't go for the sack then. Able to slow play it a little bit more. Right. Going to use in. Yeah, look, way better hill pressure here. Pyrus, though, going to try to stuff Kira in the corner. Will go down. No beam, not able to be caught up with him. A bad drop by Virgil right there. And hill pressure is maintained, but
Khonshu gets Melon and Exile in the post with the med going down. All of a sudden, Virgil has ad, but they did lose 5 players rather. X's gun though is standing tall, as is the SAR. Taking down Kira there is a big pick to stall the pressure. SAR walking out on tracks. X's gun is going to do a lot of work here. Unless it gets minigun down from range, going to get taken down with help of Yates' pistol. And not enough players are alive despite the full heal advantage. So that's going to be a 1 Uber push coming out from Frauds.
Yeah, just as we say you can't do it in 1 Uber, they do exactly that. Managed to pick up more than enough kills there, and I think, SAR going down was the first domino in that chain.
Yeah, they got so scared off losing their sniper, they just gave up the entire Uber. The Uber for Frauds got popped when they're already at the shed. They had so much space to work with because of how passive Froggieland were playing with their sniper, and now aggression not stopping from Frauds, already pushing up onto the hill, hoping to get Arbiter an angle here. Oh! Exile's dead! SAR walked up through tracks for that angle. That is a very seldomly seen shot. Normally, like when the med stands over there, the sniper can't actually get there, but it's a great recognition of that play to come through.
Lasered out of the air. Exit with this 3rd gun, continuing to rack up the frags. 3 with the Wrangler, including not really an air shot because it's hit scam, but
kind of
flicked up to Poseidon up in the air, yeah, and just sent his ragdoll flying over to Cliff.
So this is a disaster avoided for Froggieland, right? Just as we said that if you give up second in just an Uber and no dry push, your time is going to suffer. All of a sudden, things go very well for them on the 3rd stabilization. They get the pick onto Exile, they get the stabilize, and all of a sudden now they're holding strong. They have the players on flank, they got the combo, they got the level 3. It's looking good for the defense.
Yeah,
cheese by heavy.
They're a lot more set up here than Frauds ever were, especially with that Uber. But here comes that aggressive Uber. Hasn't boded well for them in the past. Good jump in there by Pyrus, and they're going to get a number of kills with it, but Exile really nowhere to be found. So they, again, they get some kills with it, they get some space, but they give up the Uber ad, which was exactly what they did, what we saw,
yeah, Frauds do on this.
What we saw Frauds do, and it lost them 3rd, and now Froggieland apparently running the same strategy booklet.
Yeah, and they don't find the medic, which means they're now at full disad. We got Arbiter peeking from the crates area here. If he could find any entry, it's signal the go button immediately. We have the flank passes pushing the cart up to that ramp. No one's going to go down on it either. And all of a sudden we see Soldier going in. Once again, Starlet at 4 HP. Actually, he's 6 HP. No, he was 4, but they're going to get the kill to Pyrus. And with Fish getting that kill, there's no defensive Pyro anymore. Gun's going to go down instantly to a Zapper.
Lots of good spam coming in on cart from Townsy, though. They are going to temporarily clear it. It has made it up the hill, though, so it's likely only a matter of time. But yeah, banner out means everyone can play wide here. No need to worry about any potential sniper. Arbiter, it looks like, not really in any position to shoot cart, but Fish coming in, gets the stab onto Townsy, resets the cart timer, gets it just a pixel closer.
Yeah,
So you
good
gotta
play by
imagine
Fish
it goes
there,
up.
especially resetting the timer. They're gonna sack onto Cart, but Melon just gets Reflect Rocket taken down by her Pyro opposition, and they can't get to this Cart. 10 seconds till it moves back again. We might see Poi just walk onto it to extend. That's exactly what he's gonna do. Moist, though, is gonna do big work from behind this bracket spot. Poi just gets bullied off the Cart. Will not be able to cap that one out. Here goes down as well. Yeah,
not for long.
Okay, not anymore. Yeah. He kind of flew away, but got tracked down by Moist in the end. And yeah, Cart, 10 seconds, it did get touched by Poi. They're going to need someone to touch it again. Maybe Flu always has to go for it. But yeah, this Cart, if it rolls down the hill, all of a sudden it's back to square one.
Fish,
Okay,
not quite. Oh, yeah,
it
gets in. Yeah, does manage to reset
Oh,
that. But
Jojo got
Fish,
dropped!
I was looking, I'm like, where is Fish near Cart? But was going for a much bigger fish there in the first place. Loses that. Uber comes in from Frauds. They will likely cap with this. Talon's going to do his best to try and deny it. Moist kind of caught out behind right here. Maybe manages to live.
Nah, he's got that.
Now,
Sentry gun.
just barely.
He'll make it out, yeah. He'll make
Sentry's
it out.
going to act as a bit of a smoke screen. And Exile on a 7 streak right here. 8 streak, actually. So, another 8 kills on third.
Yeah, I mean, X is a master of putting up the sentry guns, I guess. He's going to do a lot of work with those. Going to be building one up on last passively as well for now. We will see Exile about 15%. Brad not going to be that big of an advantage to maybe go off of. They might try to go in early with kind of a sack play, maybe some aggression as the cart rounds the bend. And they can get in position. They have players on the hill right now. Sniper as well getting charged up. And here a banner getting popped up. I believe that's from the defense once again. Yeah, he's going to pop it and just look to take flank with it.
I want to point out, by the way, 5-12 through 3. Froggy had capped 5-12 through 4.
Yeah,
interesting
4, yeah.
that, just the same time minus 1 point, as they do have to go into last. Their Exile, slight ad, but not anything really pushable off of. Looking to take a flank side.
Both going to get full Uber here, as we do see now offense is taking this one into upper. They're going to be trying to push this heavy off the crate. Uber being popped around the corner. We do see Sar immediately getting picked off by backs of Pyrus, getting double stepped by Fish. No Pyro in this Uber means no one can get air blasted backwards. Spam going to be landing through. It's already 3 players dead for Froggieland on the defense here. They do get Poseidon at least, so no Soldier going to be available in post, but Cart being stacked up with faster spawns means that there's a lot of pressure coming into Froggieland right now.
Yeah, lots coming in here, and some of the collapse coming in from flank. Looks like it's gonna be enough. Moist up in the flank spot. Remember the flank pushing back in behind from Big Door. Will wipe the cart, and it doesn't make it up the ramp either, being a crucial part.
X's Sentry Gun was level 1, got 2 more kills during that, so he's now on a 10 streak on defense.
Stop this man, he's aimbotting.
I do believe he got taken down in the meantime, actually. I don't see him on the scoreboard with the 10 streak, but I did see it on the Sentry Gun in the kill feed. Sar gonna pick up Poi. They're sacking onto the car now. They just want to see if they can get it up the hill dry. I do like that play so long as Exile doesn't go down. He's at 75. They're committing heals for this. They're losing players. Exile needs to get out, and they're gonna lose Exile. That was way too aggressive from Frauds. They put everything on the line there, and they lost everything.
All right, they did. I want to take a real close look at that cart. I have seen this on upward third. This cart get an entire cart length forward and still roll down, and you're going to tell me that is staying up?
Yeah,
so
just the map.
They lose Exile, but they get the cart up the hill, so it's not an entire wash, honestly.
No, there it goes. They can't get to it in time. Yate's going to get there as it just falls down. Going to try to put that back up. He leaves cart, though, and it's going to go all the way down. And now Banner and Uber coming up from Froggieland.
Just as I say, it's not an entire wash. The cart starts rolling back. Uber gets used in, but the patented Vigil give up your ad for 4 frags Uber comes in out of Froggieland, so cart is back down. Wasn't really at risk of getting pushed back up since Yate hopped off of it, but ad back in favor of Frauds, so an advantage for them to work with. Gonna have to see what they do with it.
Yeah, although at this point the time is gonna stretch into the 8-9 minute realm. 9 minute if they fail this Uber right here. It's not looking good for the side of Frauds. If they want a chance in this map, they're gonna have to take this one now. They're gonna take the Uber into upper once again. Scout demo, dual Uber, trying to find any kills. They're not gonna get anything. They will finally gonna get X's Sentry Gun. And Sar Virgil gonna go down! That's a big bomb from Poseidon onto the corner, taking down important classes, and now they're stacking the cart.
Yeah, dominoes starting to fall for, Froggieland right now, as they are down 5 already. Number aren't hurt. Forced back by Spawn. Arbiter finds Pyrus as well. Townsy forced to hide on the single box out of the sideline as he's just to stutter step his way to getting damage out. Poseidon going in for the bomb. Gonna almost go down to the mini. In comes in Fish, though. Not gonna find any kills, but will set them
9
up.
minutes, yep.
9 minute time, and I mean, not the cleanest from Frauds. Especially when you consider that it feels like a lot of their pushes came off of solid, advantage pushes that were kind of given up for free by Froggieland, admittedly.
Yeah, the second was just a really good capitalization on the sniper pick that caused the defense to play really passively. On third, they got too far ahead of themselves getting onto flank without their Uber. They just kind of let the sniper walk tracks and pick Exile off. They lost, a minute and a minute and a half doing that. And then on last, just... I can understand the first Uber failing, right? You don't get much. I so much disagree with the fact that they committed their medic in for the dry pressure. The whole point of doing that is to make the defense expend resources to get you off the cart. And that way, when they actually do that, maybe you get the gun, maybe you get a couple kills, you have faster spawns on offense, and with a teleporter, you will be back into the fight faster. If you get a couple of trade kills, maybe the sentry gun with that play, and get the cart a bit further up, they'll be back with Uber and more numbers if Exile just lives. But they committed everything, and again, they lost another minute and a half for that. So this time could have been, 6-7 minutes, but a couple of just really careless mistakes coming out.
Yeah, agree with that. I mean, yeah, we say, oh, well, they got card up, so it's not entire wash, but I don't necessarily think them getting card up really was correlated with Exile having to be fully in on that. I think they could have gotten it regardless.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they lost it anyway, so again, it all kind of ends up being for naught.
Yeah, that's why you drive push, to get cart pressure, to force them to come out and meet you, and to get trade kills. But they just forgot the step of you want to Uber afterwards, so yeah, it doesn't work out for them in the end. Gates dropping on this half. All that Froggieland needs to do is cap this in under 9 minutes, and they'll be touring their map pick.
Yep, and then move into Product, where even though you had Frauds as the favorites, they did just beat Frauds on Product 4-1 within the month. So they got to be feeling good about that pick should it go there. But Yate and Poi gonna go down. That's a lot of denial capabilities dead. Should anyone choose to go forward?
But for a long time actually.
Yeah, just the number of kills coming in though. Even though they lost those, gun will get pulled back. Concert actually been dangerously close to getting a sap on that.
Yeah, I mean, solid start for Frauds on this defense here. They brought a bit of extra time. About minute and 6 seconds on the total first cap, so the slowest first we've seen so far. It's a start, right, but you need to do a lot more. 8 minutes left on this defense here for Frauds if they want to draw this one out. Technomo taking the stickies off the tunnel here. Will lose his life for it, but does call the trap for now. Let's see if they actually want to sack here, because Froggieland, remember, they immediately Ubered last time, so... we'll have to see if they want to go forward. Cart's getting up to the edge of the tunnel, and now they're buffing up their players. Looks like they want to go... they're still grouped up tunnel. They are just going to go hill now. Yeah, I mean, we haven't really seen second last for too long here, more often than not. I'm just going to get a sap on the gun, guaranteed. Sap's in. Sticky's coming in. They will get the gun immediately. Poseidon goes down as well with it. No banner once again for this post. Uber gets popped out here. Yeah, both sides have already exchanged, but... Townsy getting stabbed out, coming right in uphill. Fish going to take him out, and that should really put a stop to that push right there. Cart gets right to the bend area or so not the worst time, but again, without Townsy, it's going to be hard to do much. Sar going down next means no sniper, and Yate so forward, getting on the burn. He can't find the last shot. Dispenser coming in clutch for Virgil to hide around. That was so close to being the exact pick that Frauds needed to really extend this defense as long as they could. Instead, gonna have to be another Uber v Uber exchange. They'll have to win coming forward. Flores' gun is back up to level 2. Poseidon just nearly gets out of dodge. He needs to get a banner up in one of these posts. Yeah, they are going to end up getting the gun, but it cost them Townsy and Pyrus again. So a bit of the second defense finally coming in right now for Frauds. That was a good angle. Sar could catch someone off guard here. It'd be really big if they could. Catalyst doing a lot of work from the side tunnel, pushing them out, but Sar just gets Revolver down by Fish. Fish dominating the enemy sniper. He's done tons of work on this defense so far. He's going to need to keep doing it. Yeah, I mean, they're at 6 minutes left on the clock. They milk another 2 minutes on second or so, and you start looking at a winnable half. Construct in behind on the stock Revolver, not going to be able to enforce the gun down, so we'll have to see if he can get another sap like he got in the first exchange. Both meds up with their Uber. Will it be a side tunnel grouping? I see they're going to Uber out of main tunnel here, over the top. No sap on the gun, but it's not going to get wrangled in time. There's the banner and the Uber coming out simultaneously. A bit of a waste, but at least they have the tools to move forward with on Frauds. They need to find anything. They're going to get the kill on the Construct at least, but otherwise not too much happening in the exchange. Yeah, it felt like a bit of a panic pop from Exile. They got the flash, and I mean, they bailed immediately. No real damage being exchanged there. Got the gun, got the defensive Uber. They're happy that they back out. Technomo, though, mulched as they start to move uphill. No scout can lead this push. Yate just runs in the face of the enemy team, and he buys so much space for his team when he does it. Catalyst Construct gonna go down here. The Spy Soldier duo not able to find anything. All of a sudden, we're down to 5 minutes on the clock. It's already been 4 minutes. Still even Ubers this defense looking strong for Frauds. Gate
Yeah.
finally gets punished.
They are going to take out Yates, so that's one of the more forward defenders going down. Fish, though, behind, giving good comms of what's going on.
Soldier. Poseidon gets some damage off, but he doesn't get anything with Fish going down. All of a sudden, it's a 6v9 in favor of Froggieland.
Yeah, the numbers are in their favor. Exile doesn't even have yet. Yeah, way better building out from Virgil there.
They're staying in.
Force this. No, they are going to use this. This reeks of desperation. They know they have the time, but they have such terrible positioning. Kart's going to get capped. Yate in on it. Going to try to find Tech Number. We'll take him out, but that's an Ubered heavy. He's kiting for his life and living way longer than he should have, but will go down as the point gets capped.
Exile died on the back end though. Conjured with the decloak and the revolver, taking down the enemy medic. That could be the game clincher without Uber to defend this third point. We saw what happened last time. They just got snowballed on.
Yeah, that was
I
not
understand
the time
the decision, right? But you have to be looking at the bigger picture. You already got 4 minutes off your second time. You have the position to keep holding, to keep going on this defense here. But you gambled it all right there. And again, Exile just not able to get out with his life. If he was, you can maybe justify it. Obviously, hindsight 2020, but that's going to cost them big time.
You had to know that was a low percentage play using that Uber in there, especially as it was even. And I mean, again, just not worth it when you still have this much time left on the clock. They are seemingly stabilizing here on second.
Well, Virgil has 20% ad.
Has 20% ad. Depends on if they know it. Yes,
Exile
they do.
85. Can Exile get in time? Doesn't get sapped immediately. And Exile, no Uber at all. Again, they just have to give this one up. Third gets capped up. 1 go for the side of Froggieland. They're gonna go again. You have to not do this! You can't do this! You did this last round. You can't waste your Uber, not get the medic, and not defend third. This is the exact same mistake.
I mean, ultimately, they lose quite a decent bit of numbers, but it's not going to be snowballed on. They didn't lose Exile. It is going to be ad for Virgil here, but there's not going to actually get too much material loss out of that. They went from both teams having Uber to both teams having none, but it could have ended in disaster, right?
If you can't go, just don't go. Okay, recontesting third is a good play if you're there in time. They just haven't been there in time. Whether that's a lack of preparation, or lack of communication, whatever, it's just not working out.
Yeah, just these. You took a low percentage play on second, and it cost you. You managed to somehow get almost stabilized on third. And yet here they come back in. Yeah, that's Melanie, excuse me, doing her best to try to stall that. Will tell you some of it, but the combo entirely forced over towards flank. And oh, here comes the pincer from Moist and Catalyst. XL goes down. That's going to be Kira next. Yate as well. 6K from Moist. And oh, that is a meat grinder right there, as Froggieland takes a little bit more time than their first half, but take Vigil 2-0.
Okay, it's Froggieland's pick, right? We're expecting them to be preferred team on Vigil. They're the preferred payload team here. The 2-0 in the end, sure, whatever, that's fine. The way that happened is so disappointing for Frauds. It felt like at multiple points they were in that match. But just lack of preparation, lack of decisive calling, they just looked like an amateur team when it came down to, the key moments, and that's going to cost them. They just get 0-2 on Vigil when they probably could have contended with a bit more practice on the map. I'm so disappointed at the fact that they made the same mistake on third, built so badly on last they couldn't contend, and so both rounds when they lost on their defense, right? They had popped the Uber exchange on second, sure, whatever. They backed up to third, and they did not get an Uber to defend third or fourth. Both times, that's what happened.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, this is something I feel like we've been tracking going back at least to last week, if not to the beginning of the season, just as a larger theme of teams taking these terrible defensive Ubers, like, aggressively. Well, I say defensive, I mean aggressive Ubers while on defense.
While on defense, yeah.
And I understand the high-level theory of, if we go into them, then we stall their Uber, they don't get it off, they use it in a really bad position, or alternatively, we get more for them and kill their med, right? But, that is not an easy play to pull off. You have to have multiple things in place. You should have people already flanking, their pyro should be dead. You should have bombers ready to go and have good comms on their med to know when to go in. Not guys, they got a couple people on card, let's use them to stop it.
Yeah, and I want to clarify, right? Using aggressive Ubers while on defense in general in Highlander can be a good play. taking space is what wins this game mode for you. And if the defense goes onto the offense early, the offense's staging is all messed up. If you disrupt them before they can push, you will come out successful. The problem is they already have, in these cases, they already have their setup. They already have the card up. They already have people surrounding you. You're Ubering a ton of players through one tiny choke point, trying to get out, trying to spread out, trying to do damage, trying to get kills. It's not going to work when it's not already a premeditated plan. Like you said, it feels like they're rushing this because it's what you're quote unquote supposed to do.
And
but actually understanding why and when you do
what you're supposed to do when you have that is kill the enemy team's medic. There's no attempts really to get exiled. It's like Froggieland, or not Froggieland. It's not one team. They're both doing it. The offensive team here is having their med play back. Like, when Froggieland took that Uber in on third, Exile was in second. No matter what you do, you can get 8 kills on that Uber, and it doesn't make it worth it. Like, because they should not be able to cap on you, right, when they don't have heals supporting them. You know, it wasn't like, oh, they were down 5 people they needed to use to salvage the point, right? Like, they were in imminent danger of losing it. No, there was just an uncomfortable amount of pressure, so they used in to defend it, and it was both teams doing this, but, like, if you want to go in early when both teams already have, so you start off the offensive in a really bad spot, awesome. Great play. You know, works more often than it doesn't, arguably. But when you have full out and their meds nowhere to be found, an Uber being taken to get you 4 kills in absolute and 20 seconds worth of time is not worth it.
Yeah, well, teams will have to discuss that one. It's meta for a reason, right? Teams do it because it works. They've seen the top teams do it and it works. I'm sure when Fun does it to them in scrims, they just get destroyed by it. But you need to understand what your goal is for those. Either way, that's gonna be Vigil. Froggieland expectedly take it 2-0. We're moving on to product here. The Frauds map pick. Frauds, if they want to keep their season alive, they have to win product here.
Yeah, and I mean, again, I think it's very interesting they picked this, given the regular season result on it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like their confidence was bolstered by how well they played Fun on it last week. I say this a lot, I said it last week on the broadcast, playoffs and regular season are 2 different beasts, right? You get more preparation, you get to specifically prepare strats for teams that you were, getting ready for playoffs, particularly, because you don't want to practice, certain strats and scrims if you're going to save them for playoffs. You don't want to see, you have a lot more time to actually get improvement going when you're a team that has, a higher, more room to your ceiling to reach. And I feel like the Frauds, when they played against Fun last week, we saw that from them. We saw them play better than we've seen them play all season in that match. And it showed, they got a round off the flawless team. So that confidence that they got from that likely spurred this decision. They were going to pick Koth probably regardless. So I think that this is a fine pick, honestly.
Maybe.
Asheville's gone. What do they do? Prute? Steel?
Yeah.
What are their options here? I think Product's their best choice.
I think you could look at Prute potentially, just as a map where it is a little bit more of that wild card factor, right? Where I mean, I didn't see them play Product, right? I didn't see them play in the regular season nor in postseason, so I have no real reference for how well they played last week, but it would have to have been a surprising improvement while getting 4-1 that would make them pick it in my eyes. But, we'll see. And, it's Product, right? So we're looking at the Highlander Trinity on both classes. Scout, Soldier, Demo, see who's going to come out ahead. I mean, Townsley looks like he's been having a pretty good game so far, so...
Yep, and we're getting going here. It's going to be Frauds on blue, Froggieland on red. Early concrete push from Catalyst. Immediately jumps behind the team. 1 rocket, 2 onto Exile. Exile does keep his life for now. Flores, Melon, both going to go down. And frag advantage in favor of Froggieland.
Exile, get Exile a butter knife!
Yeah, just big pressure onto the combo of Frauds early on, and they get punished immediately. They do get the trade kill onto Virgil, so that's a silver lining. Poseidon found that one in the end, but either way, mid-fight number 1 goes in favor of Froggieland.
So far, they're actually going to need to start capping it, but still decent amount of spawners coming up on Fraud, so no Asheville never-ending mid-fights to occur. Froggieland will take that.
Yeah, fast mid from both teams there. That one ended pretty instantly. Cap up first from Froggieland. They're at about a 10% disat, not going to be too big as both meds did go down around the same time. So now defense getting posted up here. Froggieland have SAR buffed up in pocket. Trying to get contested here from Arbiter. They're going to go China. This would be a big SVS to win if he's able to do it. Both snipers see each other. Just going to pop off in a second. Finds Pyrus. That's something to go off of. They're going to walk point.
Yeah, and you pick is a good one. They're going to get the minis trading out too. Big jump coming in from Poseidon. Gets body shot by SAR though, up real close as kills traded back and forth. Slight numbers add right now for Frauds, but not too much cap time. Kira just starting to get on it now.
Moist is doing a lot of work in this connector area. Gonna help Catalyst buy some time. And
finds
Exile's
Arbiter,
dead.
though.
They just got ran at. Technomo just 3-shot him instantly on the rock.
Exile 99%, and at the very end of Vigil there, he died with
Sacking
98.
from Med. Fish, not gonna get anything. Soldier, not gonna get anything. Demo gets destroyed. Kira got air piped, I think. That was a great shot by Townsy. Sack, not successful at all. They needed to go for that, and all of a sudden, Froggieland are in a commanding lead.
Yeah, the full Uber out. I mean, Exile's died twice now with being within 2%. So that always stings, because if he gets there, you got to figure maybe things are a little bit different, or at least they get the Uber out of Virgil, right? And they're not looking at a full disad.
Yep, now fully on the back foot. Let's see what they decide to do. Maybe more sacks are in order. They're going to lose Arbor and Flu Walrus immediately, though. They at least get Catalyst in the trade here, but not much to work with. They need to get this Uber out of Virgil, like you were saying, but they don't have any pressure onto the point. Poi will pick up a second onto Moist, and we mentioned how much work Moist and Catalyst are doing in that connector. They're both dead now, so there's room to walk up.
And yeah, trying to come back in, but SAR finds Kira. Crucial pick at the best possible timing right there. Going to just put the brakes on that push. Exile forced back to play behind house. Virgil still holding that same Uber now, as it's been 2 minutes off the clock. Frauds have yet to cap.
Yep. They're going to walk onto point now. Exile 97%. There's no way they don't get this time. They are down 2 players though, and Yate is one of them with no scout. This Uber is not going to really bear much fruit for them. Demo solo versus Demo solo. In the meantime, SAR on an 8k takes out Arbor in the SBS. Poseidon tries to go on over the top, but going to get taken down by fall damage in the end. Boy, going to win the heavy fight over in connector side, so does some work, though. Going to get taken down by Construve. Construve going for more kills. SAR going to help him out, takes down Kira once again with a headshot, and this has just been a clean round coming through from Froggieland.
Feel bad for Fish there. Probably had a med pick lined up, but a sticky coming out of Kira actually knocked him out of the stab. Will find the SAR, though. Shuts down that streak. Fish eventually does get the kill, but I mean, Cap comes in, but we're only 15 seconds left, and Ubers are only even, so things do not bode well for Frauds. They're going to need a miracle hold here.
Yeah, you mentioned the Highlander class Trinity. SAR doubling Arbiter's points right now. Just went unkilled for the first 2 minutes, 50 seconds of the round. We will see Arbiter fire back a bit with a frag onto Technomo. No scout means they have some more room to work with. Contrad as well, not finding anything on his end. And with Arbiter doubling up, it's all of a sudden 6-man versus 9 going to be in favor of Frauds. So they're going to walk up just a bit. Kira, his 3rd headshot eaten of the round, and they're going to have to Uber just a solo onto the scout in the exchange.
Yeah, they do get the force back out. No one really going to die in this Uber, just a get out of our half the map
Poseidon
right now.
Stood still asking for an arrow, and Exile missed the arrow on him. We didn't see that one, don't worry about it.
Yate comes in, assassinates Moist on concrete, almost gets out, but Catalyst hits the rocket through connector, actually, to take him out there.
SAR is standing tall right now, Pocket. They need to stop this capture. They have 15 seconds once it goes over. Neither might have Uber. They're getting rolled. Kira, another pick class step coming through. Point gets capped up. It's 3 alive. Exile trying to run back to spawn with anyone he can heal, but no Uber is here to save you. No quarters will be taken, and that's going to be round 1 going in favor of Froggieland.
Maybe Yate, the miracle play? Blue Walrus?
Well, not a miracle play about it.
Not quite.
Yeah, SAR just dominated that round. If a sniper is doing that much work, you're not winning product. You have to find a way to shut him down.
Yeah, there was a point there where the top 3 scorers on Froggieland were Sniper, Demo, Scout in that order. No longer that way, but still having some very good performances, whereas basically everyone on Froggieland's outscoring, their counterparts, with maybe the exception of Flu Walrus, who's got some mad tally points going on right now.
Oh man, both soldiers just kissed on Pride Rock. What if they kissed on Pride Rock? Unless that's gonna be Kira going down as well to some stuff.
Oh, but Construed Exile!
Exile and Melon both get stabbed there. It's a chaotic mid once again, but this time overwhelmingly in favor of Froggieland.
The Frauds really just got exposed on that mid. That was an entire kill feed popping up, an entire team in the kill feed in about 3 seconds. And SAR with the aggro angle on window into main spawn. Oh, if anyone gets killed from that, they'd have every right to get to get upset.
I just saw Moist get face stabbed out of the teleporter. That was pretty funny, but he's a heavy. He'll be up taking the teleporter again to get into the fight. Sar, another headshot. What's new? Taking down Poi off of concrete. Not able to find any space for his team. Vigil, 100% Uber, Exile only 50. They're probably going to dry up here, but again, Yates dead already with no scout, no Demo Man either. Domination onto Kira from Sar. Kira hasn't been able to play the map. I bet you he's half Townsy's DPM right now just because he's always dead.
Yeah, that seems like a safe bet to make. Just every single time he attempts to try and play the game, gets sniped pretty much. It feels like almost instantly. Just never having a demo in these pushes is so difficult to deal with. And now Constant finds Arbiter having a really, really good half right now. Always finding something, it feels like, as no sniper means that the defense can play a little bit more aggressive here. Still going to play up in pocket, but Fish going in, not quite yet.
They have the Uber onto Townsy, counter coming out from Frauds. It is more flashes coming through for Frauds as they try to save their players on point. Uber can end about the same time though, as Demoman being pressured. Townsy does surf the hit scan out to safety for now. It's an 8v9 in favor of Frauds as the respawns come up. Technomo trying to force the Demoman back, does a bit of work here, but now all of a sudden both teams are trying to contest on top of the point. Spy coming in, Conchu doesn't find the stab onto Exile, will get the kill with that crossbow, and now Frag's going over in the Fraud's favor. Until now, that's Sar shutting down Exile.
Consistently finding these picks. He's been a menace right here on product. And now they're going to get even more time off of it as they have to milk the point. Wait for Exile. Oh no! They waited the entire 8-second spawn only to cap with half a second left and extend Exile again.
Yeah, that's just not what you want to see out of Frauds. Just a bit of mess ups, some mistakes coming through here. And now Virgil 100% Uber to 0. Contrib gonna go down. Not gonna be that big of a deal. They're gonna go anyway with the Uber duo onto the Scout Doman as usual. Exile trying to dip dodge, duck his way out of there, and does make it out alive. Fish a big 2K to kind of clean up these players sacking onto them. All of a sudden, numbers that overwhelmingly in favor of Frauds. They kited that one out very well.
Yeah, and good for Fish to just pick up those 2 kills right at the back of the Uber. Just, you know, lowers the amount of bodies that could potentially fight back. Yeet! Look at this aggro. They're going in for a grass hold. Arbiter's going to get stabbed, but Moist and Construed both dead right here. There's a fight going on behind house, and yeah, maybe a little bit too forward here. Kira Ye both get piped out. Melon down to an arrow. Virgil on the board. As, I like the forward aggression, but needs to be a little bit more well calculated, I think.
Fish is on a 6K this life, by the way. Just picked up his 6th onto Sar, dominating him, and gets out alive to tell the tale. So Fish doing a ton of work this round, keeping his team in contention right now. Exile does have Uber. Spy on them, does take Arbiter. It's a solo onto the heavy. You don't want to see this. Fish just face stab Moist once again, I believe. That's just him getting tons of kills. He's on a 7K now, keeping his life, doing so much work. Uber gonna end right now, but now Virgil coming up on Uber. If they can keep players alive, this is gonna be an easy retake. They're down 3 right now, though.
Yeah, I mean, the time is almost evening up, despite the dominant performances we've seen from Froggy. Frauds have clawed their way back in here, but oh, Melon reflect pipe onto Pyrus, middle of the Uber.
Kasaki in.
Huge Kasaki coming in. Gets Sar, actually, not the medic, but, you know, Sniper pick good enough, and the point's still not capped. Time ticking in favor of the Frauds right now. Some pressure from Townsy should finally get this capped up, but no, he's reluctant to stand up.
Yeah, Calibus not able to find the med pick he wants, but then trapped! Exile gets piped and then shredded by Moist, not able to get out alive. All of a sudden, Virgil now gonna be up on about a 60-70% Uber ad by the time Exile gets back up. Numbers are currently in favor of Fraud, so they're gonna walk forward. They're gonna lose Arbiter for it though. Conchu getting that sniper once again, trying to go forward. Fish though, back on a new life, takes down Sar, evening up that disadvantage here. Point almost capped up by Frauds. They are going to get it here, not extend any players this time, and get control back. They've almost evened up the time here. They need to worry about this full Uber disad, though.
Yeah, by the time this Uber comes in, the times very likely will be even. It's about holding onto it after. That is the question, but great pick by Arbiter. That's going to stop that push in its tracks. No Demo Man. He goes down, and
Poseidon's gets he's not going to find it. That's a bit hopeful from Poseidon. Just ran right into a fist heavy and got punched. So, gonna go down. Now, numbers ad in favor of Froggieland here. They have the Uber as well. If you're Frauds, you need to force this Uber, and it will get popped out here. Melon tries her best to deny what she can. Exile is safely out to spawn with Kira in tow. So, they will have one more Uber to contest this round. 25-second advantage on the timer. They will have a decent shot at this.
Yeah, still 40 seconds. Exile already back up to half, so they can get back in quickly again.
This could be disastrous.
Yep, on the window.
Yates sees him. Okay.
Yates sees him. He's forced back. Construct goes down, though, so no spies to help open things up. for Froggieland right here, so these rotations not going to be called immediately. Wait getting forward. Uber in here, going to try to go deep. They find Townsy. That's a good pick. Good flash onto Fish. I love it. Moist dead next. The frag's coming in right now for the Frogs. Poseidon gets arrowed. No cap time yet, but Exile answering back, getting on the board just like Virgil. Big bomb out of Poseidon. They got a cap. Zar gonna live for now.
Poseidon lives as well. That's big for Poseidon to live in the backline. He's causing a lot of distractions. It's 75% for Virgil. They need to get this Uber up. It's 10 seconds on the clock. If Froggieland can get this Uber, they can drag the point into overtime. All they have to do is be touching with one player. 86, 90% for Virgil. Can they get there in time? They're gonna have to try.
Get cap time in right here. Virgil should be able to get tons of people on it right here, and Exile only at 60, not going to be enough time. Frags going in Froggieland's favor, and it's not going to be enough. Uber comes out, and they will take this round, and it is 2-0 for Froggieland.
That one coming down to the wire, double overtime. That one could have gone either way. We needed to see Frogs actually get a medic pick at any point. Did Virgil die that round after mid? I'm pretty sure Virgil lived, I think, the entire time. I never saw him get sniped or
Virgil was 2-1.
Yeah, so a lot of work being done by Virgil there. Good job staying alive, building well.
Yeah, died 30 seconds in and then did not die for the next 11 minutes. Yeah, died on mid and then
didn't die again, yeah. That's what I thought.
Exile 2 kills as well, but 5
Both
deaths,
spies are top damaging their teams right now.
Really?
They've both been doing so much work. Both with 13 kills as well.
Alright, I want to point out though, right? If you sort this by damage, yes, both spies are there. What are the 3 classes that follow it?
Yeah, Demo Scout for the side, or Demo Sniper Scout for the side of Froggieland.
Yep, there's your trinity. I mean,
Flores is doing 335 DPM on Engineer. That's impressive. Yeah.
Okay.
That's over double what X is doing. Well, where do you even get all that damage as Engineer on product? Like, that's so much damage.
Mean, yeah, so Flu's minis have done 1,300. X's have only done 670. So
mini dips. Well, it's only 600.
Yeah. But then 960 on X's shotgun to 1,700 plus 400 off of the Frontier Justice.
Doubling X's shotgun damage and mini sentry damage.
That's a DN gap, and that's a good turnaround from a player that got excluded from the first set of logs on Vigil.
Yeah, unfortunately not enough to bring his team to a round win. I am happy with how close they got, though. You know, they made that second round competitive, showed that they really can compete on their map pick, which they have to, right? If they lose here, season's over, it's 4th place. There are many players on this team that don't want another 4th place, you know, so...
Why you gotta do Melon like that?
I didn't name any names, that's what you did. But...
Dude, yeah, I'm looking at the first round... Fluar's top damage to the team in the first round. He had 2,200. The next highest was Poi with 1,600. How do you out-damage everyone by 600 on Engineer?
Flores is just that good, apparently.
He's cracked.
Yeah, this has been a very chaotic product game. Both teams have their pick classes just rolling out frag after frag. Both teams' Ubers are very chaotic, where they just flash whoever's in there. We saw Fish get a flash. We've seen solo heavies. We've seen Pyros getting Ubered across the point. It's just a very scrappy product match.
Oh, and just as an update, because I was checking, it was 4-1 in favor of Team Fun on product. Currently 3-0 Fun on Brute. So that match is on match point. Should Fun take one more round, then they will be moving into the upper bracket finals, and Scortier will be playing the winner of tonight's match here.
Yeah, shout out to Scortier for taking around on product as well. So they are now tied with Frauds for how good they are as a team by transitive property. We love that one. But yeah, that match probably not going to turn out too well for them in any world. So expectedly, we would see Fun advance to the grand finals with one more round win on Brute. So that's likely going to come through here in just a second. In the meantime, could be the last halftime break of the season for the side of the Frauds. What are they talking about right now?
All right, Kira, you know that thing where right before we push you get headshot? Don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that.
Simply do not die.
How many kills did Sniper have on Kira there? Was it like 5? 4 or 5?
Oh, let's check. SAR had 4.
4, yeah.
And on Wager, 3 of them were in the first round.
Yeah,
but again, they came at such vital times. Oh, I just realized
time after time, Kira didn't get to play that round at all.
Is Exile transmitting his tendency to Kira through the beam?
It goes through the beam. Alright, well, halftime's over. Both teams have talked about what they wanted to talk about. Last chance for Frauds for the entire season. What will they be doing here as we're rolling out for the mid?
Yep, Poseidon going in on through
Fast
connector right
push.
there.
Exile's down already.
Oh, that's the first kill of the mid.
Okay, that doesn't.
Meat grinder,
no.
meat grinder.
Oh no!
Nightmare.
It's a calamity. They when you're seeing on the line, I'd say that's a good way to call it. You know, no kills, Exile instantly sniped, Kieran instantly piped. It's just that's the look of a defeated team right there.
Oh, that worst case scenario.
Yeah, that was just poetic almost. Yeah. Not much more to say about that one. That was just too out of left field. We will see a spawn push coming out. They're going to drop Melon and Poi immediately. Sar, Arbiter don't get out, but they do drop Virgil. Fish, even with his team's dying breaths, manages to drag back some kind of advantage for them. Exile in spawn charging Uber 50%, so not all hope is lost yet. They have a play to move out.
Alright, 15-4 are the frags so far this round. Keeping track.
Fish got the most important one so far, so we'll see if that buys them any space here.
Ooh, Poseidon picks Sar up off the teleporter. Nice little air shot there. Would have still killed him even if he missed and got the wall shot, but did hit the direct, I believe. So not a bad rocket as the point. We'll get kept back in. So despite the fact that
only 1 minute, it's pretty good, you know?
mid. It's honestly, I think, the quickest cap they've gotten in the 3 rounds.
Yeah. Okay, in a vacuum, right? Things aren't. This isn't actually a bad game state for frauds here. They have full Uber ad, 50% Uber ad right now. They have the point ticking back in their favor. They're only a minute down on the clock, less now. So if they get one successful defense here, all of a sudden they're in the round, right? We can forget that mid ever happened, but they have to actually get there first. Construed in, Melon sees him, the second Exile gets immediate force. That's a great pop by Exile, taking on 1 HP, but the coordination was just so on point from the Spine Soldier.
Yeah, really, really good to sack there. Textbook is Catalyst still in the back line. Nope, gonna get taken out.
Headphones?
Finds him. Oh,
reaction? It's fine, Puck can miss every shot.
The Arbiter will keep his life. Still not on the scoreboard yet, but I have a feeling that if the longer he lives, the greater the chances of him getting up there go. As a good spin by Kira finds the building, the stationary targets
Don't
though.
want anything to do with this. They're having Arbiter stand in here passively. Soldier over the top on Cliff. Good air blast to stop that rocket. Catalyst gonna get taken down by the heavy. Uber now coming in solo onto Arbiter. Arbiter gets Uber slot, extends an Uber. Virgil making a stylish play. Won't matter too much in the end as Exile is out to spawn with 60%. They do have the time lead and the Uber lead right now. So all of a sudden things looking pretty decently for frauds.
Well, time lead gonna go away very quickly.
Yeah,
but
soon.
I really do like that play. Okay, we know we're gonna lose this. They have Uber.
Spawner.
Yeah, so they took Exile out, sacked everyone in, got the force, and now they find a free sniper pick and go right back in.
Yeah, Spy Pick is will contra 20-second spawn time, so it's a very long 9v7 in favor of frauds right now. Walking out pocket side, no pick class to worry about. Kira can play with impunity right now, walking up, doing damage into pocket. Townsy trying to respond with what he can't, taking very low. Fish in the back line, not able to find the staff. Point gets capped up in favor of frauds as they post up.
Yeah, time gonna flip-flop back in favor of frauds in just a handful of seconds right there. Mini coming up on Cliff, Kira finds it immediately. And, trying to sneak through the connector is more caught out.
Again, 1 HP force. Exile is so good on these 1 HP forces, but they are hitting true for Froggieland. They're getting what they need every time.
Yeah, and I mean, when you can consistently just say, okay, we want to force the Uber, and it happens, it makes playing product so much easier, but they are still behind in time.
Yep, gonna be about a 30-second time lead by the time that Froggieland get out here. They have the full Uber to work with. This is the first time they've been in time deficit, I think, the entire game. Correct me if I'm wrong, but either way, they are on the back foot right now. Need to make something work. Fish is going for the drop-down pick on the bridge, not timing it properly, will end up going down, with Arbiter dying as well. This time, no pick classes for Froggieland to worry about, as they're gonna go across the point.
Yeah, Catalyst drawing some players back, getting a lot of pressure is Froggieland right here. And Moise getting up on the window spot onto Japan. Gonna find the mini there, and not too much else as he is gonna stay and hide.
He's silent. He's a ninja. If he kills anyone of value here, it'll be the funniest thing.
He's staring at the wall. What can he see that we can't, Zach?
He can see through it. He knows everything. He can see all. Maybe a med comes his way. Won't be the case for now. As Exile up on 80%, 40 ad over Virgil.
They know.
Okay, yeah, they see.
Oh yeah,
him.
Fish just called it.
Yeah. That's a free pick, though. And again, 20-second spawn timer for the defensive heavy. Exile with Uber. This is the chance for frauds to get some momentum going. They will lose Arbor, but they're going to go anyway.
Yeah, gonna go in, take this Uber, getting aggressive with it. Virgil only at 70% right now. Cap time started to come in, but the re-contest coming in from Froggieland, good pick by Fish, gonna find Pyrus. Technomo, Sar, Catalyst, Domino, going down. Exile gets taken out by Construed. Big pick from the Froggieland Spy. The point gets capped up too, so that spawn is extended. Vigil has full Uber here, but you know, more than enough time left on the clock, still 20 seconds. Happy to back out, go back in, get our players and get back in on this point.
Okay, here's how this is going to work. Vigil and Froggieland have a full Uber ad. They're going to go into point. They're going to need to pop Uber to get this. Frogs need to kite this out, keep Exile alive, and play
Arbiter's dead. They are going to pop.
Arbiter and Fish again, no pick classes. Uber coming out like they need to. If Exile can get out, they have a chance here. But they need to kite out. It will be overtime for Frogs.
Yeah, they have the chance here as 40 seconds left. Exile has more than enough time to get those Uber, so it will come down to an exchange. Just need to make sure that, you know, Exile stays alive for this. And
it doesn't even have to be exchanged. They're at 20% ad here, and when things come down to the wire here, they can get aggressive.
Opening
they can
pick on the Sar.
Yep, and with Sar and Pyrus going down, Arbiter's giving his team away in. Catalyst tries to go in, finds Fluorus, that's all he can get. With Townsy and Conjure dropping, this round is theirs. They're gonna get it.
Pick classes open up more than enough room. Uber not required. Cap's gonna come back
10K.
in. Yep, and Frogs are on the board.
26 points. He did so much work there around. Right after they had their lowest point of the entire season in that mid-fight wipe, Fish immediately got the med drop. That was crucial for the comeback.
Yeah. Yeah, that mid, we thought, okay, that they're throwing in the towel, but no, that was just...
Yeah, the start is something new.
Yeah, I needed to really start it from the bottom, now we hear. As, both demos going for some spam, way more health, though, for...
Both spies kissed on the crates this time.
Demo, yeah.
Get killed right away. Fish going into immediate decloak. Catalyst doesn't see him. Ball onto the med, 1 HP taken down, though can't find the pick. Exile on the other hand goes down. Yeah, Conscious with the revolver getting that pick. Tons of kills from both teams.
Frags are in favor of Frost, though. Exile is going to live, but Virgil, excuse me, is going to live, but I doubt they're able to win this mid. But yeah, Cap will come through, so lost the med, but win the mid. Gonna have to see how this next fight plays out with the ad that Froggieland has.
Yeah, Frogs want to force this Uber. They want to make Virgil pop this one for the point to go over in Froggieland's favor. If they can, you know, cause a bit of a delay and get that going, they will be pretty happy with the result, judging from the fact that Medic died. Fish gonna have to get out of dodge, found out on Cliff for now, as Sniper posted up on China here. Any SBS win here would be massive. We'll drop down to the porch. Both Snipers about to look at each other. No one hits the first shot. Uber gonna come in a second, though. They're looking to go from pocket.
Yep, popped out right at the sign. Townsy walking forward. Construed gonna go down. No spy to pincer on this. And Arbiter hit really low, but will not drop. Melon gonna be the only frag picked up. Your Fluor is coming in right afterwards.
Yeah, numbers.
Yeah, but Exile nor their Uber is one of them. So Leapfrog is in play right here. As Exile's about to come right back in with Kira in play, it looks like.
Fish draws a couple back, but does lose his life. In the meantime, the flank beside him is taking over on the side. Construed gets taken out, and Townsy getting immediately killed by the Uber.
Virgil dead.
Getting that one out. Kira, great stickies to catch the back out, giving his team that Uber leapfrog in their favor, breaking the leapfrog rather, and now point tapped back up by Frog's timely Uber lead. They're looking good.
Yeah, and it's this aggressive positioning on grass didn't work out for them very well the last time it happened.
That's because they died.
But it looks like it's a little bit more controlled this time.
Yeah, pro tip, don't die. Then you can make it work. We do have a sniper posted.
Dude, we told Kira to stop getting sniped before pushes. They listened and they won a round.
Exactly.
All thanks to us.
It's very easy. We will see now the cliff roll up coming from the majority of the Froggieland squad. Fish calling it out, sees it, going through. They got a sniper posted. Exa is doing his best to stop Sniper from getting backstabbed. Exa, yeah, it's going to take him down real quick.
Yeah, and I mean, 2 for 2 in picks right here, but no sniper on blue, you think has to be the biggest frag right about now. It's just going to allow them to get on point for free. No worries about a headshot. Point recap, but Frauds really flipping the script here. Have a very comfortable time lead right now.
Yep, they didn't want to pop their Uber. You know, they didn't have a sniper. They weren't confident in their positioning in post, so just going to let Virgil equalize and take the Uber exchange. Like you said, they're a minute in the time lead, so they definitely can make things work coming out. Arbiter rings off a headshot, does some damage, finds Conshoot as well in the house. They're going to be aware of his presence in this upcoming exchange, and they're going to go right across caution.
Yep. The Yate in deep right here.
Sky.
And Pyrus, the only kill so far. Yate going to get taken out in the backline right there. A little bit too deep. As still 8v8, this fight continues. Kira really far forward, gets some good damage onto Technoma, but Concert and Fluor is going to be the next wave of frags. And
Fish
Exile
in.
looks like
Fish
playing
gets
back.
Virgil!
Finds
Big
Virgil!
2K from Fish at the best possible moment to get the enemy combo and destroy them. Arbiter takes down Sark in the SBS as well. It's all going to hell for the side of Froggieland. They need to see what they can get here, find any kills, because they're losing the point and they're losing the time.
Yeah, Zach, there is a bit of a spy gap going on right here.
Fish is 35 points in the server above both medics. Finally gets tied by his own medic, but he's at the top construct on the other side at the bottom 10 points. Fish is just having such a good half right here and single-handedly bringing his team back into the game.
Yeah, this is the performance that they needed. You know, if your Highlander Trinity are going to go down, you need one of those pick classes to really step up. And there's an Uber coming in really aggressive here. This is the type of aggression you want to see on these Ubers.
Dead. They're just dead. They went
But
so
yeah,
far forward. That is way too
overcommitment,
far.
Exile, way too deep. You know, I respect you want to get in deep and kill the med, but at some point, Virgil's out.
If I'm Fish and I'm doing that, and then in my next life, I see my combo just instantly explode in the enemy house, I'm like, guys, what more do I have to do to help us win this game? They're going to be put on full Uber dis ad now. Minute on the clock, still an advantage, but they have this Uber dis ad to overcome. That's going to soak up most of that time unless Fish can find another big med drop he would need to do something amazing.
Oh, Exile's up on crits right here. Gonna have to keep track of
Fish
that one.
now. He gets the pick! How does he get the pick? The engineer saw him in the bridge, but he drops down and he gets the drop anyway! Fish is doing so much work!
Fish is single-handedly dragging Frauds back into this construct. Thought he found something, gets caught out. Exile goes down though! 3 kills and 1 sticky from Townsy! And it may not be enough. No medic, no problem. For Townsy right here, still getting good spam out, and they're not capping.
Lit on fire by the flare gun. Fish is going to take another round. If he could get another pick here, it'd do so much for his team. There's not much more Fish could do at all. Gonna drop down into pocket. 1! Almost gets 2, but does get Sar after Sar takes down Melon. Long spawn for Sar. They're gonna have to go right again. Time very close to even, but no Met has Uber.
Yeah, more from Townsy. Finds Arbiter and Poi, says Rock is no longer safe territory. You have been evicted, and they will recap this. Time in favor of Frauds right now, but not that big of a lead, and this one's going to come down to the wire.
Yeah, both meds are propped to have Uber in the future for this last exchange. Virgil, small ad, won't matter too much. Exile's only going to come out when they have. Sar has a cheeky off angle here, not going to hit his first shot, has to back off here. Fish going to be calling him out and stalking him. If he could find another opening for his team, it'd be the absolute most that he could possibly do to get them into this round winning. Virgil now up on Uber, 15 seconds left on the clock. Poseidon going
Fish
behind.
Fish no way!
There's no way! He gets another drop! There's nothing more Fish can do. They have to win this round. It's 4v4. Exile 97. Exile's gonna get and pop onto the Scout Pyro. This round is gonna be won by the skin of Fish's teeth. You cannot carry harder as a spy.
Zach, I was in first person on Fish for that pick. It's not over yet.
It's not
10
over.
seconds still left. No one's gonna go down, but there's tons of. It's only Catalyst on the point right now. Getting capped, I'm gonna get taken out. That mini a good distraction. Arbiter back in now.
Jumping on.
But Sar finds Melon, but the pick classes Fish finds Sar, no sniper, and it's gonna be. Oh.
If they lost that round, and I was Fish, I'd retire on the spot. There's no chance your team can lose this round. Oh my god. They get the 2-0. We're back tied even, 2-2 on product. Oh my god.
Alright, let's take
He has almost 50 points. He's top scoring the server even now.
Let's take a peek at these logs, shall we? Only 15 and 14, but 4 medic kills in 2 rounds.
Pick is so high value.
That's 3 med picks in 2 rounds. Or 3 med drops.
He's winning the entire game for his team. Like, stats be damned, right? It's stats. Like, it's gonna look deceptive. Yeah, he's top damaging the server. Backstabs do that. He has so many of them. He has 15 kills. Like you said, 4 med picks. 3 are drops. He cannot be doing more. He's playing the perfect
that last
game.
round was double overtime when he got 2 med drops and 3 med kills.
He's literally playing the best game of his life right now. This is a career game for Fish, and it's keeping his team alive in the season. He needs to keep that up. If he's not doing this, his team isn't winning.
And I mean, the thing with Spy, right, is that when it comes to stabs, it's never only about your own skill, right?
Yeah, you have
the
to
other
have,
team factors into it.
you have to have good timing. You have to hope that
Froggieland-
things go your way. But even so, to be able to be put in that many positions and perform, it's extraordinary. That said, like you said, it is Spy. One round, you look like Fish. The next, you look like Construd over there. You're 3-14. None of your decloaks are working. If you're Construd here and you're having literally close to zero impact, you have to think, what can I do for my team here? Froggieland have the advantage on so many positions. Townsy has been consistently outplaying Kira in the exchanges. We saw at the end there, Froggieland still almost won that round because Townsy killed like 8 people in a row, right? There's so much room for Froggieland to work with. They just need a bit more from their underperforming players. Just a little bit more and they'll get across the finish line.
And I mean, granted, like, Yate and Poseidon went 20-7 and 20-8. They had, almost half of their team's kills on just those 2 classes alone. And even with that and Fish, again, Townsy and Sar are doing enough that it's still this close. I mean,
I have PTSD of seeing the Fish decloak behind house.
Froggieland wins this if they simply do not die.
If one time their med doesn't drop Uber, we're casting the next round and they're on match point, right? One time in that half, they get an Uber where Fish gets a drop. Then all of a sudden they're on match point. They're on the entire series point, even.
And like, in nothing against Fish, but he's not doing anything like
it's something groundbreaking, right? Yeah.
You know what I mean? He is decloaking behind them when things are happening and walking up to them. There's not like some 9,000 IQ, crazy eagle rail stabs going on here. No, he decloaked behind house and ran up through main and no one was watching. Like,
the one he got,
this is counterable.
Exa saw him on China. Exa literally was shooting him off of China. He drops on pocket, walks up to dispenser and gets the drop. That should never happen. That's just pure lack of attention being paid by Froggieland. And granted, I will say I've played with Exa. He doesn't have the loudest voice. So maybe like he's trying to call out and they're not hearing him in the chaotic Highlander comms. But like that has to be communicated. That has to be the most important comm of the round, and it doesn't get through. He gets the freest drop when he should not get one at all there, and it cost them a match point.
Yeah, and now all the momentum is back in Fraud's favor, but I mean it's still not that close, right? Like it's so much on the superhuman effort that Fish is doing, and Yate and Poseidon are picking up some of the slack now as well, but it still feels like Froggy's playing better overall as a team, and if Fish lets up for an instant, it's still all going to go into Froggieland's favor, which is kind of the most tragic part.
Yeah, I mean, we have to see how that shakes out. It's product, it's Highlander, it's TF2. You never know what's going to happen when the next half gets started. Still season on the line for Frauds. They got 2 back here. They need 2 more to bring us to Steel and keep the season alive. Froggieland, they can close out here with 2 of their own. Either way, the map is ending this half.
Yeah, we will not have a 4th half coming in here. So in a maximum of 3 rounds, either we'll be going to Steel or we'll be going to next week. So
yeah, go next week.
Teams, quite sensibly taking their time to discuss what's going on here, because I've got a feeling if you're Froggieland, your calls are pretty simple right now. We turn around more.
Turn around.
We spy check a little bit more. We don't lose our medic repeatedly. And we probably win this. Whereas I think Frauds have a little bit more kind of systematic issues
it's a
that they have
taller
to
order
fix.
for Frauds right now, right? You have a way in. You have some players playing out of their minds. You have Fish playing the game of his career. You have, like you said, Poseidon doing tons of work, Yate doing tons of work. You have to keep doing that, and you need more. If any issues get fixed on Froggieland, if any of the underperforming players start bringing things up a bit, more is going to be required out of Frauds to keep this one even.
Yeah. It honestly reminds me of, just last week, right, what we saw Poseidon do to get Froggieland their half on Upward.
Yeah, on Upward.
And
the second that doesn't happen, they just can't win.
Yeah, Poseidon drops 970 DPM in a round, and it's still a nail-biter. Fish just, commits larceny.
Fish, yeah, 3 med
commits
drop
grand
rates,
larceny against the Froggieland combo, and it's still a double overtime.
Yeah. All right, well, we do have a bit of time here. Teams are definitely talking this one out. Everything is on the line for frauds here. Issues need to be addressed for both sides. They need to go into this product half as prepared as they can be. Like I said, this is their last chance on product to make a case for why this map should be theirs. We'll see who gets the win in the end, but yeah,
And I
just a
mean,
bit of a break.
admittedly, they have outperformed what they did in the regular season already,
That's
right?
true, yep. Granted, off the biggest heroics I've seen in this game in years, but if you get the points, you get the points. That's what matters in the end. If Fish can do that again, then, I mean, he deserves to win.
Was that bigger heroics than what Poseidon did last week?
I'd say so, just because Sniper on payload defense, especially on upward, gets set up to make that, right? Where as long as like he hits his shots and he doesn't like do anything out of ordinary, you can be set up for success that way. Fish has to make most of these timings by himself. And granted, yes, he's getting away with some of them when he shouldn't, but still, everything he's doing, like, you have to make sure as a spy, you're decloaking properly, you're giving yourself the best chance at the stab, then you have to do it. Not all of the stabs he's hitting are easy. I see tons of people strafing in front of him, just, like, big clumps of people in the front, but with that said, Ready Up is through. Third and final half of product coming up. Will it be Froggieland ending things here, or Frauds taking us to steal?
Get both demos in onto mid right here. Yate already on fire. Exile playing behind Rock the Spy is going to kiss on Caution Pyrus, first blooded by Arbiter. That's a wrangled mini off of Cliff. Frags all coming in pretty quickly, but in favor of Froggieland. Townsy and Catalyst both dead though. Boy staying alive, doing his best to help equalize this. Exile and Virgil.
It's just Sniper Engie. All the combo and flank classes died. Just the Sniper Engineer pocketing Virgil right now. They're hop the back up. Pyrus is back from his early respawn timer, but that's going to be a very high kill but passive mid going in favor of Frauds.
Yeah, I think they even had numbers this ad there, but, you know, Sar was not able to get the kill onto Poi, and then Heavy with a medic on him is just going to do way too much to, you know, stop the remnants of Froggieland from getting the cap. So, goes over to the Frauds. You could argue that maybe Froggieland played the middle a little bit better, but alas, that is it. Uber's popped out already from both sides. Better use by the offense, actually, right here. Froggieland going to be fading a little bit more slowly.
Has a disguise dispenser. They don't know, and he gets the stab onto Exile. He had the engineer disguise on the dispenser. They didn't suspect him for a second, and he's going to find that med pick.
Yeah, now trying to go in is Melon. Gets some damage onto Virgil. Takes her down to about 60, but not enough to finish her off. But yeah, losing your med there in that post just too damaging, despite even some good picks coming over. Poi gonna get chased out. Those fists should help him get out. Yep, just barely lives. Gets into main spawn, and now Froggieland.
5, 4, 3. Spoke too early. He's gonna go down to the backstab from Construed. Not getting spot there. That's a great
shot.
Those are
some giblet fireworks. That was a wall shot, but still.
Wall shot, yeah, but it's
an invisible wall
shot.
Upgrades to an air shot. We'll give it to him.
Yeah, gets that trade at least for his sniper in the end. Spawn timer is going to be in favor for them as they don't have the points. So they're going to get their sniper back out there. 100% for Virgil. They're going to cycle to the top. It's just Poseidon in. They will get Townsy in a bit later. Or Kira, rather. Kira doesn't know where the meta is. He kind of lost himself there. Got turned around. Does go down. Not able to find that force that they wanted. Exile, meanwhile, charging in spawn up to 70%.
He found a number of picks that they could still go off if they don't get the med.
Ooh,
but I mean,
Arbiter's dead, though.
Oh, yeah,
Sar's
too.
free reign
So
right now.
they're dropping numbers. If it was like a 9v6 without a demo heavy, then maybe you can take that even if the other team has Uber, but losing more bodies never helps. So
yeah, Sar's just standing with confidence on top of this rock. Needs to get some heals though, taking some spam rockets across the map from Poseidon. Now Exile with Uber charge up. They will be looking to go through main, see if they can make this exchange work. It's on the point right now. Flash on both Scout and Demoman from the side of Frauds. We do see Technomo get in on this Uber to the very end. No one dying immediately in the exchange. Yate does go down though, and now they're in post.
yeah, and that's going to be Technomo getting headshot. So no Scout, no Soldier right now for Froggieland. Arbiter taken out as Catalyst's last breath. And the frags now are going even, but in favor of Frauds is the positioning. Virgil hits super low behind point. Going to be forced back there, and that will win the point for Frauds.
Fish did
Again,
so much
slightly
work
more
there.
frags, but just,
Fish
yeah.
decloaked Cliff with a revolver, shot Sar down to 1, and then killed Townsy with a revolver, and forced like 3 players to chase him on the cliff. So that post easily won with all the players focused on the spy. Loses life for it, but that's a trade you'll take any day. Now both meds up to about 70%. 1 minute about on the time lead for Froggieland here, but they need to overcome the defense of Frauds here. And with Arbiter standing tall on the rock, now going that side. They does pick up the counter snipe on Thasar.
Catalyst trying to get into connector there, not going to find anything
Vision.
as a...
Virgil pick
finds
again,
Virgil. Oh, that's drop number 4
He does it with the
for
China
Fish.
drop down, another drop for Fish. He is doing so much work. It cannot be overstated. He's carrying for his team over and over again.
It keeps happening, man. It keeps happening.
Yep, and now they're going to get time lead, and with full Uber ad, all of a sudden things flip fully in favor of the frauds here. That's an alliteration if I've ever said one.
Flip in favor of... Yeah, that's 4.
Flip in favor fully of the frauds. They're going to blind out a clip. They just want to drive push and force Uber.
I like this.
Virgil's stuck. Can he hit the pipe? 1 HP on Virgil. Virgil is barely alive.
That is the type of aggressive Uber that I do like seeing, though, right? Like, that far forward is what you want to go for. They almost get Virgil for it.
And then they popped into him. It almost worked. If Virgil had, like, 3 less HP, he would have gone down there, and all of a sudden the round would have been very firmly in hand for frauds. But instead, Exile now 55% disad, gonna have to regroup and hold off an onslaught.
And yeah, Sar took out Arbiter, so that's as good of an opening pick as you can ask for. Add for Virgil as well. Maybe gonna try to hope not to use. Poi goes down, no defensive heavy. Poseidon in on Cliff.
Dead! Poseidon killed onto Virgil. Fish was revolvering Virgil from Cliff and did like 140 damage. Poseidon got the fadeaway rocket and got that 98% kill. Virgils cannot catch a break at all. No Uber coming out from Froggieland here. They do get the point here, but without Uber and with a lot of spawns coming up, or longer spawn timers, all of a sudden frauds have a great chance here to go up in the map.
So Virgil died at 98, mainly because of Fish's damage, right? That counts as like half a drop, right? 4.5 is the total?
Pretty close. I mean, 98%. Exile had a couple 98%ers, though, so, I mean, whatever you want to do with that one. But Exile, again, early Uber out. They're just trying to go immediately. Kira taking some damage, but Fish in the backline. Stab on the Pyrus. Gonna deny any reflect of the spam coming through. Point easily gonna be capped up here. Yate trying to find anything, but it will only be those 2 kills onto Townsy and Pyrus. They get what they want, and that's the point. What can Virgil and Froggieland do now?
Yeah, they can lose Sar to Poseidon coming into Cliff at max speed.
It's going to be full heal in favor of Froggieland, but they're down 4 players. Virgil 80%. They will get in time here, but they're just losing more players. Melon can airbus them up the point in the round. If Melon lives, they win. They have 94% and 5 alive. They can't get there. That's 3 rounds right now, 3-2 in favor of frauds.
No Exile, no problem. All we need is Fish to just get drops onto Virgil on demand.
Who would have thought after the 2-0 and after the mid-wipe we saw in round 3 that we'd be seeing frauds up now 3-2? Things are flipped entirely in their favor, and now they're 1 round away from winning their map pick and sending us to steal. Early bomb from Catalyst immediately reflected. Does get out for now. Fish on the case, onto Pyrus, doesn't find the stab this time around, and the frags are going in favor of Froggieland.
Yeah, more and more answered back, but not enough. Yeah, Exile getting it cut out as well. Construed finds those revolver shots in the, just right behind house. So, coming in, Catalyst had that fast bomb. I thought it was his ragdoll that got sent out, but no, he just got, gravity cannon by the reflect and then just walked back through connector and collapsed for a second time.
Yep, that mid does go in favor of Froggy. They have pretty big Uber at about 80% here. Going to be looking to hold on the defense. With Contra up, they have all 9 players up, waiting. Arbiter posted on Porch. If he could find an opening, it'd be massive for his team as usual. They're going to sack, try to go for this Uber. Big Reflect takes Kira down. Fish trying his best, not able to actually find the force onto the enemy medic here. Virgil's still very healthy. Melon, well, Flora's not going to get anything either. So, sack attempt unsuccessful for now. They're just going to build in their spawn as usual. So, going to be an early big advantage on the clock for the side of Froggieland.
Yeah, Arbiter. Finding Construct with the Kukri.
Dominating
drops
him.
Dominating him. Drops a wall in the chat. So, Sar, though, was playing a little bit forward. Going to be forced back. Decent amount of spam coming in right there. But again, without that sack working, Exile still only at 70. No real way
Sar's
to
a big angle here. What can you
capitalize.
find? Body shot onto Melon, not going to be the shot he wanted at the start. Catalyst goes over the top onto Poseidon. Soldier v Soldier having the backline. Poseidon wins that one out.
Exile! Oh, great sticky by Townsy. Townsy finds 3. And Poi gonna drop quickly thereafter to tech. No more Flowers, Poseidon, Kira, all going down. Fish not able to salvage this one. As Froggieland, with their backs against the wall here, answer in a big way, and they've knocked off half the time without losing the point.
Yep, and they're gonna keep this Uber advantage going. It's small this time, but they will have the defense regardless. Seems like Froggieland, they've woken up a bit. You know, they lose 3 rounds in a row. All of a sudden, they're like, guys, we need to shut down Fish. We need to get our groove going again. Townsy's been a big part here, Contrib as well, finally finding some value in this match. All of a sudden, now they're looking good in this 8th overall or 6th overall round.
Yeah, but Arbiter opening up onto the SAR, as good of that opening pick as you could ask for. They're starting to get aggressive off of it. Fish caught out. Finally, it feels like Construed will meet the same fate, but Edging coming in very well done from the 8. They're going to start walking onto it. Kira getting forward, takes a ton of damage though, needs to get healed up and will. Do lots of countime and forces the Uber out. So Exile at 90%, safely back out in main. Nothing really pressuring.
Oh, they saw SAR posted on Rock. They look like they want to wrap around here, but they're kind of trapped here. Arbiter going to post up, see if he can take the angle. SAR now rotating over to Cliff. It's a man ad in favor of Frauds here. And their Uber got forced in the backline. I didn't see where it did, but they lost that full Uber. It's fine though, because it is off Uber. Construed, air blasted in the air, not going to find his pick. In the meantime, Poi and Fish have gone down. But with Townsy going down to Rockets from Poseidon, they can walk forward. Kira has an option to go and do damage. SAR going to be watching from the porch, but with Arbiter picking up Moist, they're going to get their first cap of the round.
Yeah, I mean, Exile, I'm still not sure what drove that Uber, but all's well that ends well, right? I mean, they do have a slight disad here, but unless we see a really aggressive push from Froggieland in the next couple seconds, it's not likely going to matter.
Fish has been a pretty common occurrence when the medicine's been in this spot. Virgil does get up on the Uber. Fish is in the back line. They're going to go immediately, though. They don't want to give any chance of dropping this one. Townsy popped up in the air. Not going to be able to get in with the Uber. It's a solo onto the scout for now. Construed trades his life for Melon, and Catalyst can get picked off in the backlines by Arbiter. So, man ad in favor of Frauds, as it wouldn't be a Highlander match without an actual pause.
I actually noticed a little bit of server lag right before this, so they might have done that in response to it. Maybe that was just coincidental timing from my game, but... So what, we're 2.5 minutes, it's about 2:15 left. Oh, bathroom break. So we heard. So someone in this server.
So that's bathroom, okay, I know what this means, but let's not say it on cast. Right, so either way, we're paused here. The round's looking very good for Froggieland, right? Even though they're at this Uber decide here because Exile stayed alive and got his Uber, they have point. They have 2-minute time lead on the clock. It is still ticking. That's just a HUD bug, so don't worry about that one if you are seeing that. But yeah, Froggieland, they've woken up. You know, they had problems in the past 3 rounds, but all of a sudden their players are performing. They're finding value where they weren't before, and they look like they're in a good spot to actually take this round and tie us up at 3 apiece.
Yeah, and I'm wondering what the timing of this is, right? Because...
I know what it is. You shouldn't say it on cast because it's spoilers.
Okay. I mean...
It's obvious what it is, because obviously if the game was over, then we need a bathroom break.
Well, no, but my point was that I was saying was that it couldn't be over because it's a 90-second delay. So...
I know.
Frauds had 2.5, so either the round is still ongoing... Right, and it's been, you know, we're down to nearly double overtime on both sides, or, right, Froggy potentially took the round, tied it up, which, you know, we'll have to wait and see, but regardless, this match is still going on for at least another 90 seconds.
We're still playing, right? This could still be anyone's match. This pause doesn't affect that at all. It's 3 rounds for Froggieland, 3 rounds for Frauds, 2 for Froggieland. If you're just joining in, welcome. This is the Highlander lower bracket round 1 between Frauds and Froggieland. Winner advances to the lower finals to take on Squirtye for that third placing and a spot in the grand finals. Loser goes home without any prizes this season, no medal, no money, no nothing. So a lot of pressure on this match. It is currently 1-0 in map score in favor of Froggieland. They took Vigil 2-0, which was their map pick. We're now on to the map pick of Frauds, which is product. And like I said, they do have the 1 round lead here.
Yeah, and I mean, we have been in this pause for quite a while. It was about 2 minutes 15 left on Fraud's clock right here, so they're almost 2 minutes down on Froggieland, just under that. Froggieland about to recap here too, right? So...
Yeah, about to recap. So, pretending like, you know, this round, like, we say the round's still in the balance, right? Exile does have this Uber coming up here, and they're going to look to try and contest immediately is what it looks like, because I don't think they'll make it out. Yeah, they're going to recontest. We're unpaused here, going forward. Popping Uber onto the point. Gate and Pure get a duo. Fish, big kill into Townsy here in the middle of that. Helps clean up Pyrus as well. Gets the assist for that one. And all of a sudden, the cap going to get stopped up for now.
Yeah, I thought they were actually going to get that. I didn't realize how much time was on there because of the pause. I thought it was closer than it actually was.
I had reload.
Yep, just under 2 minutes.
Yeah, very close to cap. But the Uber came up from Exile just in time. Virgil did back out. Exile healed pretty well, so both meds are going to be at about even Ubers coming forward. Minute 50 still on the clock, and saw a big opening, dominating point.
Yeah, Townsy, though, goes right back, so one pick for another, and that demo pick's going to be a little bit bigger, stopping the offense, though he will spawn faster. Fish caught out. Technoma, though, a little bit too far forward, so no scout to edge, but Yate and Poseidon following next, and that is going to be a ton of the defenders down to really stop this edging from coming through. Pyrus stands right on it, and my HUD's glitched a little bit, but it will come in for the cap, so 20 seconds left, and neither... Actually, I can't see what Ubers are.
It's 80% for Vigil, 100% for Exile, so Exile does have here. They're going to Uber immediately across the point. Virgil doesn't have point yet. If they could get on him and get the drop, that's what Fish is going to try for. If Virgil gets this Uber, they win the round immediately. Poi again getting sniped. Uber popped out on the point. Gate through is going to drop with Arbiter losing that SVS. There's no one left to contest the point. It's just Fish gets one, but that's it. Froggieland are going to tie us up at 3-piece. That's what we expected. The bathroom break was now. Everyone is prepared for the golden cap round. Winner of this round takes product. Will we go to Steel or will things end tonight?
Yeah, I mean, pause was in real time, so I'm not going to see it here. But winner of this, yeah, should Froggieland win, they will take that, move into lower finals, and guarantee themselves placement. Frauds fighting for the chance to move on to Steel. Catalyst in, skips jump over on Pride. Makes it deep behind, but Conster gets headshot to open it up. Great pipe from Townsy.
That's a scout demo. Both Kyler class is not able to do anything, and Poi sniped for the third life in a row by SAR. Numbers are very close, even though it's a 6v6. Both meds alive, but with SAR going down to Arbiter, they can make some room. Point being held right now by the side of Froggieland. They have the bigger classes, the bigger health pools available, and they will get the first capture of round 7. Townsy, though, bleeding at the worst possible time. Moist and Townsy are both on 20-second spawn timers. Point immediately gets flipped in favor of Frauds.
Yeah, so they're gonna win the mid, but lose the mid. They're gonna win the mid fight, but lose the mid battle.
Oh, Kira, that's a bad death to take back. Both demos just dying immediately after they get the point. Gonna be on a very long spawn timer of his own. SAR posted up in pocket. Arbiter trying to match him from the crate spot. Fish gonna be calling up this walk-up. Can he find the med drop? Not had by Arbiter. Gonna get ran out by the flank classes. Now Uber being popped out by Exile. Got forced behind the rock. Tried to get in with a scout, but it's not a very good Uber at all. They just gotta back out. They do have 2 kills on the side, though.
Yeah, Concert and Catalyst both dead right there, so no one really coming in from behind can focus attention forward. Floor's gonna go down, both NG's trade.
Poseidon has the angle. He has so many rockets. Moist goes down. Virgil goes down. Poseidon finds everything he needs to from that connector flank. And with Virgil down, Exile gonna have a big Uber ad.
Yeah, just great collapse coming into that. Uber taken from the start did not look that good, but the post fight was just masterful.
Yeah, that big angle onto the combo. Poseidon did like 500 damage with rockets there onto all 4 combo classes. And now Exile, 60% Uber. We just saw Arbiter take an SBS win over SAR. SAR's gonna get another shot at it. He's not won any of the past couple, if I recall correctly. So gonna need to find an opening for his team. They're now a minute down on the clock. And with Uber disad, Froggieland are on the back foot firmly.
Oh, Construd, gonna get caught out by Melon right before that stab came in. Yep.
He goes down. Can't get the Uber in time. That's a great play to actually get that medic from the explosive classes of Froggieland. They will buy themselves a lifeline with that as Virgil's building in spawn. The time lead is going to grow even bigger, though. They just have to make it work with this Uber.
Yeah, I mean, Froggy really does not want to go to Steel here after letting Fish run rampant on them for so long. But they have, you know, the pieces are set up, but they're taking quite a long time to get back on here. Time continues to tick down.
Yep, Virgil now up on full Uber. Exile only 25%. Uber taken across the point by the combo classes. They get Yate immediately. They get Melon with the scattergun shots. Where is Exile? Exile is out to spawn as usual, keeping his life and keeping that Uber charge building. We do see Arbiter on a 7k. Takes out Exa. Extends his spawn as well. So Arbiter is doing tons of work in this final decider round. If he can keep things going, could be a big boon for his team moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, they are just under 2 minutes behind, and they're going to need to maintain a long hold on the slight ad for Exile, but will likely come down to an even Uber fight. Needs to play really tight from here on out, though. Technoma playing really far back. But he frames the decoy, so they find Fish. Construd bumped him, but he almost gets the pick anyway.
Arbiter got the headshot onto Townsy, an 8k for Arbiter, 7k for Poseidon. Arbiter finally gets shut down, but that Demo Man pick gonna cost Froggieland the point. They give it up, 45 seconds left on the clock for the Frauds. They're gonna get their Uber before Vigil as well, so Exile standing on the cliff, trying to avoid bombers right now. They will just pop across point. Players go flying as Pyrus puts them in the skybox, and Kira gets sniped out of the Uber.
Oh, that's such a big deny from Pyrus. Got Exile popped up, unable to get him flash, and they lose the demo, and that may just give Froggieland everything they need to walk back in here. We're gonna have to see if they choose to use, and that they do. Poseidon coming in, Fish finds Pyrus, but can he get anything else? Poi gonna go down. Fish does as well. Exile manages to escape with his life, and that will be a slight ad. But the cap goes back over to Froggieland, and the 2-minute time gap is revealed.
Yeah, Moist had pretty good cleanup there in that fight, got 3 kills from the pocket, just cleaning up all the leftover players. And yeah, like you said, Exile, small Uber ad here, 2 minutes on the clock to make up for Froggieland. If they can't do it, we're going to steal. What will the play be like for them on this defense? They know what Exile's Uber looks like because they have Constru calling out his percentage. Are they going to be ready to kite this one out? We'll have to see.
Yep, repush coming in from Frauds right about now. Fish and Moist going to be the first two. That defensive heavy meaning a lot, though. Kira's just standing on point, really uncontested.
Virgil's 60 HP. This Uber gonna come up from Exile. As soon as they get it, here it comes. Virgil's stuck on the dispenser. They can't get through though. Pyrus does a phenomenal job denying that. Gives up his life for his medic. That was crucial here. Point capped up here for the side of Frauds. It's gonna go overtime as they're gonna sack their lives for this for sure. Virgil now has Uber and they're gonna use immediately.
Townsy jumps in and he finds Exile. That's huge. There's not going to be a leapfrog here, and it means that Virgil is going to maintain ad right here. Poseidon comes in, tries to find something in post, not going to get it. So backs against the wall. Froggieland have a minute and a half, an Uber ad, and a dream, trying to end this here without it going to steal. Fish chase down into spawn.
Their play is the concrete hold. They have a star forward concrete. Immediately it's a headshot, has to get out of there. Arbiter just calling him out instantly. And now neither Med has Uber. We might see Frauds go for a dry pressure because this is going to be their best chance until the Meds have Uber. But Kira snapped out. They can't do it anymore.
Oh, I think, is that crits on Exile? It is.
It's crits, yeah. That's a big play. That's a big
keep track. Play. They're gonna get really quickly. Exile may end up building. No, not gonna build slightly faster. Virgil building super quick.
They're relying on this being a surprise, but Construd was above them on China. He probably saw it and called it out. At least he should have, because this is gonna be the game decider here. If this crits doesn't work out, all of a sudden Froggieland, they have what they need. Uber immediately pops
crits comes out. They used it in advance. Oh, this is gonna be brutal.
They can't get any kills though. They get 0 kills with the aggressive Uber. Crit's gonna end without much success either, but without any Uber charges, you're fine. If you're fighting on Fish and finds Townsy, big pick there onto the opposing Doorman. They're stacking point. Any cap wins them out. They got the heavy on it. Pyrus needs to do his best.
But Exile dies. The Colossus coming in. Moist is still alive with a beam. That's almost a full wipe. It's just Arbiter and Poseidon spawning. They grouped up just a little bit too much, and Moist was able to shred them. There's still a ton of cap time. This is not over. Wave 2 of the desperation push comes in. Constru decloaking on Japan, finds Poi. No heavy's gonna be big, as they need to get on.
Moist is the big player. They have to kill Moist. Moist goes down to a headshot. They're sacking onto it. Townsy is the player to watch here. He gets airblasted back. Pyro goes onto the point. What can Pyrus do? He airblasts them back. Butter knife onto the med. They're sacking on. It's a 2v4. Pyrus goes down, and they're gonna cap it. They win. We're going to steal 95% Uber death from Virgil, and that's the Frauds bringing us back, taking it overall 4-3.
Oh, that mini probably just won them that. Virgil died there 95%. She lives to get that Uber. If that mini just goes down, people don't die. She lives to get that. They stun a little longer. Maybe with the spawns, Frauds still take it, but oh, what a match.
Against all odds, after the 0-2 start, that third round mid-fight, that was just a signal for what was to come. They flip it all on its head. Frauds take their map pick of product, and we're going to steal. The season is still on for both of these teams here. One of them will have to be eliminated at the end of next map, but we'll have to see who can actually get things across the finish line. It's been chaotic, both halves.
Yeah, and if Dolphin can get us, Dag, I think we're gonna call for a quick 30-second ad break here.
Yeah.
Give us some time to take a bathroom break of our own, perhaps.
Yeah, the players got one we going through. So logs up on your screen. Enjoy them, see them out. Sorry, both snipers 24 kills. It's pretty funny, but yeah, enjoy those logs. We'll be back in about 30 seconds to a minute. Stay tuned. You won't want to miss the dramatic conclusion of the lower bracket round 1.
Welcome back, gamers and gamettes, to this RGLgg Invite Highlander playoff match. We are in the first round of the lower bracket where the Frauds just fought back to take a nail-biting 4-3 victory over Froggieland on product, tying up the maps 1-1, moving us into CP Steel, the Highlander special. It's going to be where one of these team seasons will end, and the other one going to guarantee themselves placement. I am Alto. Zag by my side, Dolphin behind the camera. As always, in case you just happen to be tuning in, Zag, what are your thoughts so far?
Ooh, what a burner of a match. You know, we came into this, I told Alto he didn't cast Frauds throughout the back end of the season because, you know, he was away for those 4 weeks. So he came in, he asked, I don't know what to expect. What are the storylines for these teams? I told him, well, Frauds are the lower seed. Froggieland, you know, perform better in the regular season. They have the map picks, but I feel like Frauds can take us to 3 here. And my reasoning was because I thought with what they showed on product last week against Team Fun, the number 1 seed of the season, I thought they had what it took to take product, right? It took a while to come to fruition, but Frauds proved this right through the blood, sweat, and tears of Fish, Arbiter, Poseidon, and the whole team. They make it here, and we're on to Steel. This is going to be one hell of a conclusion to the match.
Yeah, and I mean, this is... I don't even know if it's going to be fair to have like preconceptions on these teams coming into this.
Yeah, I agree.
Froggy,
I don't know what to expect.
It was Squirtier that lost to somebody help on Steel, right? Yeah. Froggy won 2-0 over RR. And what did Frauds do?
I have their page up. I'll check that real quick. Frauds on Steel, they wipe Team Effects. Yeah, doesn't really not too much to tell there.
Yeah, not too much
to glean from it, yeah.
To glean from it. I mean, we didn't get to Steel last week either, so nothing to see from Froggieland. So I mean, if we want to just say Steel's a stopwatch, so Froggy's expected to win, I think that's a reasonable bet.
Yeah, you can also say it's surface level, and with the performance that we've seen of specific classes from Frauds, you'd give them edges in certain angles. Predictions are up on your chats if you guys want to do it, and it looks like the people are favoring the Frauds here after, you know, witnessing that comeback.
Yeah, I can understand it. I mean, the way that I see them potentially winning here is... I remember when you know, good old Death Troll, Joe, the Nose Spy, told me that Spy is probably the strongest class on Steel because of how much impact it can have, right, in terms of comms, and it just... Steel's a map where quality of kill matters way more than quantity. Right, you can, you know, your sniper can farm 18 kills defending B tunnel over the first 3 minutes, but if that offensive spy gets like 1 chain stab on the enemy combo at the right time, that's it, half's over. You know what I mean? The spawn timers on Steel can go so long for the defense. We're talking 27, 28 seconds at times. That just finding that one pick at the right moment onto a medic or onto a demo, or even a pyro pick, right, that leads to like a med death, can, you know, completely overturn, you know, however your numerical performance is. One of those maps where the logs truly don't tend to matter nearly as much as they do anywhere else. And with the game Fish has been playing, if he's still got that mojo, I think he can take it, but I'm putting a lot of eggs in his basket right now because I think Froggieland on the whole has been playing as the better team.
Yeah, they have the 2 on Vigil where honestly Frauds fell pretty flat. We didn't really see anything inspiring from them on that map. It took a while to get rolling on product. They got it across the finish line, but Froggieland were very competitive the entire way through. That came down to a double overtime round 7, right? That could have flipped either way at any point. If one thing went someone's way, one thing went someone else's way, but, you know, that's the game. In the end, it's 1-1, and we are here. The team that performs better on this map will win. It sounds obvious to say, but it really comes down to that. We don't really have preconceived notions of how good these teams are on Steel because their Steel matches, their Steel results haven't been anything to go off of. So whoever brings out the better performance here is going to have a massive advantage.
And just to follow up on what we were talking about before, it had been 3-0 in favor of Team Fun on Prute for match point. They were able to take that. 4-0 was not particularly close. So that means that the Team Fun, will be waiting in the upper bracket finals. They'll have next week off as the winner of this match will take on Squirtier in the lower bracket finals to earn their right to play against... it was upper bracket finals. They're in grand finals.
Yeah, grand finals now for Team Fun. Expected result, you know, seeing the team coming into the season, they were always the grand finals candidates that everyone would put their money on, and they made it through there fairly few hiccups along the way. They dropped 2 rounds the entire season, both coming on Koth in playoffs. So expectedly Team Fun in there. And Square going to be going up against the winner of this match for that grand final spot. That's going to come later, though. For now, we got Steel up ahead.
Fish in chat. I plan on winning this game. All right, I'm
His name
sold.
is Fish #locked in.
Did
he change that? Did he change it after? I'm not sure because we don't. I don't have the Steam aliases on. I have the official cast aliases.
Oh no, I've got the Steam aliases, but let me check.
Yeah, you can check the logs.
Yeah, he's been locked in from the start. So
I mean, yeah, from Steam. He
locked
definitely
in,
was
but
locked
maybe
in.
not warmed up on Vigil, but the engine's fully revved now.
Yeah, we've talked about Fish and the impact of Spy on Steel. I want to go ahead and talk about Soldiers here because Poseidon has been massive for the side of Frauds. He did so much work at the back half of that product that allowed them to win. So many good rockets, so many good bombs, just doing tons of work all the time. So Steel, again, another good Soldier map comparable to Spy in that, like, there's a lot that Soldier can do on this map that he excels at. A lot of tight corridors that you don't want to fight him in. A lot of places where a good Soldier winning a fight will win you a lot of pressure, like the Heaven Jump. We've seen so many Soldier v Soldiers happen in the Heaven box on E, and if you win that fight, your team has so many options to play with on E.
Yeah, I mean, whenever I tell teams, that I'm either mentoring or that just ask me how to play Steel, Heaven is like the crux of the map. If you have it, things are peachy. If you don't, you need to do everything in your power to take it back ASAP because it controls so much space. And, I mean, if the offensive Soldier's in Heaven, that E-spawn is basically closed off. Until he's gone, you might as well pretend that D's been capped because walking out of that is just asking to get, nuked.
Yep, and we do have all 18 in the server. The team's giving it one last talk before we get started on potentially their last map of the season. Ready Up is through. Gonna be Frauds starting out on defense, Froggieland on offense.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to see what Froggieland's gonna be able to do here.
Yeah, I want to really pay attention to any abnormal setups that we might see come through. We know this is Exa playing Engineer on offense here, and we know that he has kind of front ran a lot of strategies on Steel as Engineer, where like there's certain places that you take your team with the AE push, certain places you put your sentry gun. He was one of the first engineers to really jump on board with the just move your entire setup behind Wishbone, behind the enemy team, and just sandwich B. So we'll have to see if that's what he wants to do here with his team.
Yeah, I always look for him to do something kind of special to get some of that extra pressure in. Coming behind, Flubaris has his telly a little bit more in the open on B Cliff. Normally it's in the house. Not sure if that does much. The one thing I'd be careful for, right, is that is that telly entrance at spawn? It is.
Yeah, so the Spy can't take it immediately.
But he still can. But
he has to walk around.
You can, and you either telefrag someone instantly, or you have a free frag if you do take it. Did he destroy it? He did. Ooh, oh, he moved it. Okay.
Yeah, so he's going to be moving that. Didn't like his position. But either way, A point going to get capped up here by the usual suspects. The Scout, Soldier, Pyro there with them as well, and Spy going to look to go down and drop down. Looks like Conshoot has an Ambi. He's going to go actually AE with the team. I don't see Exa here. So they're not moving their sentry gun to AE. Their sentry gun right now is being moved out. Oh, is it? I didn't see it.
Yeah, he went a little late.
He went
Probably
late,
they were clearing it. Fish is in lobby right now looking to call. I think he's on DR right here is what it looks like. Yeah.
The majority of the force is AE right now. It's just the combo plus sniper.
X is just dropping his gun right at the E spawn, and Pyrus is already capping. This is a lot of
Yeah, that's what I said. They have the majority of their force AE right now. It's just the heavy demo sniper in a tunnel, and Construct is in a really good spot to catch any people rotating back. If this capture presence goes really far, they're gonna be in a bad spot here because X's gun
Fish is playing in the back spawn though, and he can just continually revolver people. And
that's
the gun
fine. They don't really care about that
him.
too much. I mean, yeah, it'll chip away at their health, but they can get chased down. Pirates can get sniped from the shutter. That's a big opening. In the meantime, an Uber exchange has happened on B. No one's died in it right away. They do have upper control for Froggieland's offense though, so Frauds have to back up just a bit. And with Technomo capping up E to this point, and the sentry gun's still there, they have to deal with it.
I mean, they have, Arbiter's rotated back, as has Yate. Koi respawned, and he's likely going to help out as well. Exa moved the gun, but died for Yate, finding that's a good trade to take.
So It is there.
Goes
What's
down,
happening
yeah.
on B? Because, okay, the offense is pushing on to B with Pyro heavy right now. It's being contested by Kira and Poi from high ground. If Moist goes down here, they lose a lot of their stock. They do finally get Towns in, spamming Poi back, so only one entrance they can come by now. Both points getting tapped up at the same time, but it looks like B is going to have to be seated. They rescue the sentry gun out, and now they're going to give up B for free. E is very close. Technomo is doing so much work here, and X's sentry gun is guarding him.
Yeah, and with Fish playing in that back spawn, he's been doing a lot to clear the point, but the gun's still alive. X manages to respawn, walk all the way back in and take it.
That's
and he goes down there. Yeah, the back spawns come in, so they're able to defend it from the normal spot. I mean, the pressure got them B, and it's likely going to get them C.
It's going to get them C as well.
It's kind of unfortunate they don't get the cap, but ultimately not really too much lost when you're able to get E, B, and C in 2.5 minutes, really?
Yeah, that's just that's textbook how you split pressure on E. They didn't go for any, like, you know, try to flank it behind B, try to sandwich it. They just said, alright, put our sentry gun, put 5 players, cap up E as much as we can, make them come back and deal with us. And that's what they did. It ended up working. They got, like you said, B and C fairly easily once that rotation had to come out. And although their cap time on E is, you know, almost down to 0, they got everything they wanted out of that fight.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're hoping for. And I mean, looks like they're going right back into Wishbone, contesting Heaven. Yeah, no sapper. Concert goes down, but they will get the gun. Melon, Poseidon, and Fish on the run, but Kira finds Townsy and Pyrus right
Fish
there
got
trying
the
to
drop
get
on
in.
Virgil. In the meantime, though, they can't Uber into this point. Now a sentry gun can get rebuilt in Heaven. They don't have Heaven control. They don't have Wishbone control. All they have is X's level 3 and a sniper. They're going to try to walk out here now that they have players alive again. Khonshu backlife going to get the sapper on it this time, but with no heals, Khonshu going to get the pick onto Poi. Player goes into the pit. Kira going to get sniped as well. All of a sudden, Frag's fully in favor of Froggieland. They have an Uber out, but it's on nobody.
Yeah,
nobody in this spawn right
Exile,
now.
oh, where even is that?
Everyone died.
Is that an E-spawn? I didn't even see it.
Yeah, he Ubered out of E. Everyone died. He just stood AFK in E-spawn waiting for a spawner. They just lost immediately off of that.
Ruh-roh.
Yeah, this is a straight 0-man Uber. 5x on the point. He's not even capped. They're trying to contest.
Just got
They're just sandwiched from the choke.
Here's gonna go down.
This round's over. That's what, a 4? Yeah, it's a 4. Domination coming out.
Yeah, that really was dominant. Even with the drop that they got.
Yeah, did nothing.
Didn't do anything, yeah.
Alright, so, okay. We'll talk about what happened on that defense here in the next half, because that's what's really going to have to change for frauds in the next half. Right now, let's talk about what they have to do on offense, right? When you're facing a 4-minute offense on Steel, in your mind and in the opponent's mind, you're going AE or ABE, right? Like, yes, you can do what Froggieland did and go A, B, C, E, you know, like a pretty standard Steel, like around the world minus D. But when this pressure's on you and the enemy team just did that to you, you're in a bit of a desperation mode here. You're already planning on potentially setting up the ABE, or potentially even the AE if you can't get B off the bat.
Yeah, and I mean, I always say it on casts, I say it to teams that I'm playing with, the way that you go for that quick cap, right, is you need to get your combo into Wishbone before the defense can. If they get the gun set up in Wishbone with a Pyro when you're still in, like, the E area, you're not going to get it, because one air blast sends you right into the pit. So
Sar's actually hard scoped on a cliff right now. That's interesting. He gets called out.
Gonna be forced back, yeah.
Spawn. I think he was looking for any potential like combo picks they were coming to on A. But in the meantime, Contra gets his knife melted. They know he's there. If Melon can find him, it'd be big for dying comms. They do find him. That's a really big pick, actually.
Yeah, getting the spy there just means that you do not have clear eyes on what's happening. You don't know if they're going to drop down, and it looks like they're faking it, but not quite. Poi eating something up on cliff.
The Meds staying B. They want to Uber exchange into B like normal. They have their demo, they have their power, they have their sniper. All other 5 players are in E right now. They're going to move their sentry gun in. It's being watched by a black box soldier of battalions here. So there's a lot of work being done to kind of call this out. Contru on his respawn. Oh, he barely got out alive. He nearly ate a rocket and lost his life again. Melon went down on B side right now. Has the exchange come in yet? No. It's not. They lost Blue Auras. That's a big pick to lose.
Yeah, so no NG gonna be able to do anything too funny. They forced Moist out of upper, but he took the tally back in. He's gonna die though. Poi able to get the heavy pick in upper. Townsy jumps up to start covering, but maybe that's the window that they need.
Yeah, they're gonna exchange on B right now. Pyro B, Pyro Uber coming out in the front. A lot longer health from Virgil there. They don't even have the pop quite yet. They're finally gonna use the Uber out to save their Pyro. Sentry are not under any threat right now, but this was never the main point of attack. They're trying to set up the E pressure. Catalyst and Technomo have control of the shutter. Not enough people are alive as the Sentry went down on D. They have their engineer setting it up in the backlines. With 2.5 minutes, they have to make a play somewhere on the map.
Yeah, and they do not have the E pressure right now. I mean, they're getting in on B. Yeah, they forced back the initial hold. It is the passive hold coming in here. They still have the height descent. SAR is scoping them. Gonna be forced back. Good pressure coming in. Poi is great positioning on this window here. And it looks like the cap time's gonna start to come in, but there's only 2 minutes left.
Yeah, it's still possible if they get B now. You know, there's a lot more work they have to do, but we see in the top window, Moist is shredding people on the back lines. Revenge crits come in, do some work, but Exa will lose his life for it. Townsy is alive and well, spamming stickies onto the point. It's just Poseidon here, and he's gonna air blast it into oblivion. Gonna die, jumping to the pack, he's dead, and now all of a sudden, there's no room in at all for Frogs.
Yeah, and they're just not able to get the frags coming in. I mean, I think
they have to go
Flores dying early was such a, you know, just... They were not able to get that type of E pressure that we saw Froggieland get. And yeah, they probably think they gotta go B right now. I mean, remember, it's a 30-second minimum cap right now, so 70 seconds of the ×1 for E. So they are trying to go for B right now and maybe use that to get some pressure onto E.
Virgil's low.
There's a point. SAR, Townsend, and Pyros all goes down.
Virgil,
that's the combo, right?
Virgil eats the rocket. Oh, the Bandy Bind saved Virgil's life.
That said, though, they gotta get in on E now. They got a couple kills, they gotta go for it. I mean, B getting capped up, honestly, I wouldn't have even capped it, because now they get the back spawn, and they do have Poseidon up there. Arbiter is in heaven.
It extends the spawn time, they have to cap it.
They're getting flanked right there. Arbiter may not be able to live here for long.
Poseidon has heaven, but he needs more HP. They need to get a sentry gun, they need to get a sniper. Arbiter's stuck in heaven, they're gonna die. Poseidon and Arbiter are both dead in heaven. And with Kira getting backstabbed, this round is over. Points getting reduced back to 0. No one else is alive. And that's going to be round 1 of Steel, going convincingly in favor of Froggieland.
Yeah, if Arbiter went JFK there, like through lobby, they probably win that. Or at least it's... No, probably win. That's a strong word.
Yeah,
but
it's a strong word.
It gets a lot more exciting. Arbiter, however, goes into heaven on the spawn. He is above the spawn.
That's the one player you never want to be in heaven on your team. There's nothing you can do from there. Arbiter going a bit of step out right now. The point's impossible to cap it. That's round 1 in favor of Froggieland, and they showed a lot of strength here on their offense.
That BE split was beautiful.
Yeah, the theory behind it of like not actually pressuring B from the back and just making them make a decision, that just puts so much pressure on the defense, because if they can't hard win one side enough, even if they hard win B, right, they still have to respond to E eventually.
And I'm a little like, I feel like things still could have been better though. Like my main spy experience coming up again. I love doing what Fish did, right? Going Revolver DR, playing in the back spawn, and just harassing people with the cap. But Exa died. He could have just dropped into like lower E, ran up and sapped it. And then that gun's gone, and you don't have to worry about it. Your flank members can actually walk out of spawn and, actually like defend the point, and maybe they have more of a B hold. But staying back and continuing to just try to revolver chip people on point, when Exa dies dropping a gun in front of the spawn, goes through the full 10-second respawn, comes up, walks back in, it's still alive. And no one on on Frogs is able to actually walk out and really get like control over E. You know what I mean? They stopped the cap from coming through by spamming it from spawn, but they never had control over it, and eventually they just said, okay, well, I guess we can't really continue holding B. We need to rotate more people E.
Yeah, and then off of that, because you're forced to just over-index into stopping E at all costs, you just lose C for free. It just looks like you're losing point after point, and there's nothing you can do about it. They need to find a way to respond to this E pressure. We mentioned in the lead-in that exit teams are, famous for these plays where your engineer on Steel is the focus point for some very heavy pressure, some very heavy split push threat coming through onto the defense, and if you can't respond to it in turn, that team will just bleed you dry.
Yeah, and I mean, they even killed him, but you let a gun sit at your spawn for 40 seconds when they're capping.
You know what's a tech that was actually really good that we didn't call out, because it's a thing you don't like call out in real time when so many things are happening. You know how you mentioned that they were getting revolvered by the spy who was in backspawn the DR?
Yeah.
Technomo had the pre-boy's pocket pistol on, so he could actually sustain himself with health by pistoling people in the spawn door. So he stayed healthy enough to get the 2x on the cap as much as he could. Because he was the only one capping it for majority of the time. They lost all their other players at some point. They lost Exa, they lost a soldier, they lost a sniper. But Technoma was alive the entire time with the pocket pistol.
Hold on, I'm getting flamed in Twitch chat right now, so I need to defend my honor, my script writing abilities. Yeah. That is a really good call out, and I mean, it's just, maybe it means he gets to stay on the point for another 3-4 seconds, right? Before he's forced to jump off of it. But that adds up over time. Because it means that maybe, the time that would have been lost by him having to jump off from bringing the health pack, it doesn't actually reset all that much. That just adds in the pressure going through. And I mean, again, X's gun lived for a long time. Should it have lived that long? I'd argue no. Did it? Yes, and it definitely had the impact.
Yep, as we are still in this halftime. Again, the season is on the line for both teams. If you are frauds, you just came back from massive disadvantages on product. Now you have to do it on steel. You're on season point against you. You got to win 2 in a row, otherwise you're going home. They want to take every moment to talk that they can.
Yeah, I mean, this is, and steel is such a fast map, right? They could even cap in a 4.5 minutes, and you're still not safe. We've, what was it, last season? The help Froggy marathons on this map where we saw 3 halves played with no caps over like 5 minutes. So, this map plays fast. You have to make sure everything is done, not just your, we're going to see frauds on offense, not just their offensive strategy, but how are we going to defend, too? Even if we do get a good time.
I think this is a good breath of fresh air for frauds. I think that after you got roll on defense and you didn't really have a chance to play a normal offense out, I think, getting a chance to set your own pace is beneficial to them here. If what just happened on defense just happened, you think, okay, there's certain things we can respond to on E to stop getting pressured on, 3 points at once. You're ready to make those changes happen, but you need a baseline to work off of. And I think if they can get a cap here within, we'll say 6.5 to 7 minutes, like at most, I think they have a shot. And I think that they're much better off trying to do that than potentially just responding right away, and if it doesn't work, being essentially out of the map from their offense.
Yeah. That's just the main thing I'm a little concerned about, is that having them set their own time is going to be a good thing, but time can drag on steel really quickly. You know what I mean?
Especially on E.
B and E, really. Like, you can lose 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes on B like it's nothing.
Sorry tried to do the same thing, but they told him they did last time. They just immediately bombed him. I like the cheekiness, but he got called out and he gets Technoma gets taunted by Kira in the spawn shutter. So that's pretty funny. Doesn't mean much,
What is Sark going for there? Is he looking to try to...
Yeah, that cheese pick over the top of the drop down.
I don't think it's that. I think he's looking at the cross. Yeah, he's on A. Yeah, no, but I think he was looking at the cross.
The drop down onto A point Dolphin, but yeah. He tried it 2 rounds in a row, gets punched the second time. That's how it works. You can't do things 2 times in a row.
Yeah, I mean, he's already back up on B, so really no harm, no foul.
They're pressuring this heavy immediately. They're going to lose the teleporter right off the bat, so no one can retake that area. Koi loses life for it, but with Poseidon up here with a banner, he's going to be doing a lot to control that.
Poseidon, buddy, what was that?
He tried jumping back, but he got caught on the speakerphone, and he loses life for that Catalyst with the long-range air shot, going to reclaim upper for his team.
Oh, that looked a little goofy, not gonna lie.
Okay, so you know how I said frauds have a chance for a normal start on offense? They have nobody on E.
What an early pop! That's so early!
They lost Kira. Kira got headshot.
Oh, no.
I've never seen the solo offensive pilot Uber out of B main. That one's not gonna work. Yeah, that's the worst Uber ever.
What was that?
I was looking in the shutter, right? I want to know what the timing was between Kira getting a headshot and them popping the Uber. Because if it was close, yeah, it's like kind of unfortunate, but you have to be prepared for the possibility. I feel like it wasn't really that close.
Yeah, I wish we had a replay set up, but I mean, looking at where Kira's ragdoll is, I can see it, right? But I don't know. It felt like XR was really far back.
They're trying E pressure now. We have Fish, Poseidon, and Yate back here on E. It doesn't work out too well. Fish gets counter espionage by Contratrude. Poseidon is back to the pack, and Yate again just gets gunned down by Contratrude and Pyrus in the lobby. So the flank pressure not working out. You need to send more resources here, otherwise it's not going to work. They just get easily responded to.
Poseidon's in heaven, but
he's all alone.
Doing what exactly?
Yeah, he's all alone. His teammates all died. He can't do anything. He has to get out. They're marking him. Look, Technomo is marking him. He's making sure he can't do anything. Exchange coming through on B, though. They get the sap onto the gun. Very close over for XL. They just actually sacked in to get the force. That's a really nice play.
The 4500 tech.
Yeah, exactly. You pretend like you're going in, you get the sap on the gun, and you make them think you're going to pop no matter what, and then you don't. So, now full Uberad for Exile.
Yeah, and that puts them in a good spot here. I mean, but, again, it feels like it hasn't been too long. It's probably been two and a half minutes at least.
Minutes, yeah,
if not three. So, I mean, time really is bleeding away here. Again, really early use.
Yeah, they're going to get the sap at least. Pyrus backstab, no one can shoot him, but so Fish will take care of it. Now they can get through. Upper is still being held. Catalyst with the banner, pop out of Upper, could do some work here. Regroups with this team, but they lose Moist as well. Boy now doing a lot of work on the heavy class, trying to walk up, get some damage dealt. Kira gonna join him in the choke point, and the banner about to expire, but big shot onto Yate from Sar. Sar loses life.
Fish
2K. Yeah, Fish cleaning that point up from the back, and that's going to be capped up convincingly from the side of Frauds. They didn't get Virgil, though, so still Uberad in favor of the defense.
Yeah, but defensive Uberad on Steel doesn't mean too much, because it's going to be difficult to catch him out.
You can wipe out a Wishbone if you want to, but...
Yeah, they're playing back on C, which I think how
and 3.5 minutes. Time did stretch in. They do have Heaven control, so they're going to start edging C here. Poseidon is up there, takes down Sentry Gun, and Kira's going to jump over.
I love that play.
He's all alone, though.
And he gets Technomo. That's the main issue.
Amazing pipe.
Back, but yeah, great pipes there.
In the meantime, though, Poseidon got revenge critted by X out of Heaven, so now Heaven is by control of Catalyst here on the defense. They're going to get X Sentry Gun built up as well, so E pressure not going to amount to much, but they do manage to build the rotations, and again, that's the goal. You want to get C eventually, so they're just going to run into C and take the cap.
Honestly, if Hira jumped like 3 seconds earlier and gets the stickies down a little bit sooner, he might get 2 or 3 kills on that dead, and they could just cap E right away. But C comes through really quickly.
Yeah, reasonable.
Yeah, 45 seconds, and I mean, Virgil has full Uber in lobby, but you have
the
C.
Sentry Gun sap. He's
going
for the decloak. Sap and stab. Sap, stab. There's going to be a pick onto Kira. That's going to be big for delaying things, and he gets the gun too.
Yeah, so guns down. Poseidon caught out. Moist and lower E. Interesting positioning there. Don't normally see the heavy there, but he's going to lose the 1v1 to Boy, yeah. Catalyst dead as well. That's why you don't really see the heavy down there that often.
Seconds, by the way.
Those are not like little oopsie deaths, Yeah,
and
Sar, counter snipe, they can flood in here. Uber used to try to get this gun. Poseidon jumps up and he gets skyboxed.
Yate lives, but the Uber doesn't find the gun. They're going to lose Arbiter, they're going to lose Yate, and they're going to lose Boy. All of a sudden, that Uber does absolutely nothing. Gun's still standing tall in Heaven with an engineer behind it, hitting it with a wrench. Fish trying to get something on D. Will get caught out. They're trying to cap up D now.
Oh, Kira's in the pit. Oh, good pipe by Townsy, takes him out. No chance. Would need to get a really risky arrow to get enough health to jump back out, but...
I'm pretty sure you can't even get the arrow. His medic would get hit by the Sentry Gun, no? Either way. It's a bad spot to be in.
Yeah.
Yeah, Arbiter went up into the window like you said. He's getting wrangled at right now, so they know he's there. They're aware of his presence. Alright, so things have stagnated now for Frauds. Both teams are, 50%-ish Uber. Frauds need Uber to make things work. They're rotating through their spawn to lobby. This is pretty standard when you get stuck in Wishbone. You try to go lobby to kind of pressure the enemy team through D. See if you can get anything done. Because the Sentry Gun has not gone down here since it got put up the first time.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to, beat them on the rotate, though. So they're going to have to take this in kind of raw here. Well, they'll have Uber, but this is not a fun push.
Yeah, they're going to Uber in. Pyro doing a great job at stuffing. Fish, not anything on his decloak, so no one dead in Uber just yet. Fish will finally get found out and sticky down by Townsy on a 6K. Post Uber, they have some players.
Oh, I like this. This is actually really good positioning right now for Frauds. If they can take out Pyrus, who's done a ton of damage, honestly. That's enough to get Kira and Boy killed. Yeah,
Townsend's on 8K. He's shredding in this doorway. Tons of work on the defense coming through. And importantly, the E gun is still untouched. They did not even make it through lobby.
Yeah, and I mean, I think, honestly, the positioning there for Frauds wasn't bad. They had everyone on
Poseidon was in a really good spot for Post to drop forward and do damage.
Pyrus runs in, gets so much damage on everyone, draws so much attention, and it gives Townsy more than enough time to just free kill them. But Constantly, finds 2 with the revolver.
He's still revolvering them. He's just being a nuisance in the backside.
They just took level 3 in lobby for the offense.
Yeah, exactly. Sentry Gun being put up. Yeah, their med got Cleaver, so they have to back up. He's still walking at the Sentry Gun. Get the sapper on it. Loses his life in the end, but with that Sentry Gun dead, they will be able to retake control here. Spawn time is still long for the defense, but they haven't lost enough people to actually lose space yet.
Yeah, no one's actually been able to really make it in as they keep trying. Uber comes out. Sar, way too far forward. What are you doing there? They get the Uber. Melon gets the kill onto Sar and gets the force out. Good air blast as well to maintain positioning. And there should be lobby taken. Technomo caught out, sent against the cave wall. Virgil's dead. Oh, Sticky's on the ground, gonna take out Yate. That's a pipe, but D obtained by Frauds right here, coming in, but even if they cap D here, Zach, what's the time? 8 minutes?
It's not looking pretty for Frauds. They need to get this as soon as possible if they
got
have any
gun.
chance. Yeah, they finally got the gun. They have the spawn ad. Remember, these players have 23-second spawns for every death. D getting slowly capped up. They got Kira in heaven, putting Stickies on the shutter. So this should be checkmate for the round. The question is the time doable? From what we know about the time so far, it's going to be stretching really long. It's going to be a tall ask for Frauds to actually make a defense last this long.
Yeah, I'm thinking 9 minutes here, honestly. I mean, I don't know. When's
8:40-ish sounds about right.
Poundsy just spawned. Oh, that's a rough spawn timer.
Fish. Yes, it's some pretty good kills you're getting. You're securing the point. In the end, you're going to get this one anyway. You have your Uber. Virgil doesn't. They're just going to pop in. 2x scout, 4x now capping it up. That's going to be the round. Yeah, 8:20. I was thinking more 8 minutes.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, considering what we saw from Froggieland last time, that is going to be a tough defense.
Yeah. Considering that last time they got pushed in half this time. So,
yeah.
Yeah, it's a tall order from Frauds here. Not impossible. It's still, a doable time. You just have to not bleed points like you did last time. We saw them lose B off of split pressure, then C, and then they just got pushed in on D because they couldn't actually get control over heaven or over lobby. So they need to find one spot where they can, put their feet down, stick in, and get some time out of, because they didn't have that last round.
And I mean, B's really the easiest spot. I mean, just don't let them get the full, outpost set up at your spawn door. And, focus on B once you get, kind of some control over E and that initial level 3 goes down.
I took a glance at the chat. I see one comment, unwinnable, the next, losable.
Mission begins.
That's funny. Yeah, but only a few seconds till the gate drops. This could be the last round.
3.
Frauds need to extend this with a win here, otherwise they are going home. We do see Arbiter taking the B stance early on, scoping through, no cheesy play like Sar went for on his side. And with so much time to work with for Froggieland, you gotta imagine they're feeling confident here.
Yeah, maybe that lulls them into a false sense of security, but at the same time, having that clock is always a good reminder. And I mean, not too many people on A right now, so it looks like it is going to be a much more standard, just straight B pressure. Sar loses the SVS though, and Exa, what is Exa doing? Exa is moving gun onto A right now, so.
Boy gets a couple of shred kills in the stairs, nothing too big. They were just trying to force him out there. We're not successful, so Fish throws out the nice sack in chat, and they're going to move on.
Yeah.
Let's see. Normal flank squad's there. They do get Technomo instantly. This is the adaptation. They have Arbiter rotating to watch the entrance, and a big pick onto Technomo earlier means the fight is going to be in their favor.
Yep, oh, Spy caught out at spawn.
Doesn't
even matter. Arbiter hits the body shot onto him before he even dies to the pit. Exa bringing this gun in, though, has it close to the spawn.
Yeah, this is the same thing that they went for last time. They get the sap on it this time. With Moist dead, it's getting hit down. If anyone can peek it, it'll die, but no one's there. They're 4-man strong on E. This is the exact same thing that Frauds lost to last time. They need to find a response. They lost their chance when Fish got a pick and sapped the gun, so now what are they going to do?
Yeah, they even have the soldier playing close to Pyrus to deflect spam. He is decently low, though. Cal is taken out, and Pyrus is next. He able to get the chip damage. Technomo hurt up.
Gun gonna go down.
Yep, gun should die.
Right, that's what supposed to be.
Now you have control over E, and you can focus a lot more on B.
In the meantime, the Uber exchange did happen. No one died immediately in the exchange other than Foy. The Heavy just couldn't make it out of there in time. But Upper is being held by Moist right now. So now they're trying to get out and fight. Floros' Wrangled gun does go down. They're trying to group up and get some picks, but with Upper being held and now a sniper watching them saw his angles, it's really hard to hold this. Arbiter needs to win the SVS now.
Oh, there's a banner, though, coming out. This battalion's coming in. Should allow them to peek wide. No need to worry too much about the sniper. Kira gonna go down, though. Not sure exactly to what, but...
Dolphin said kill binded. That is the worst kill bind of the season, probably ever, in playoffs. That one's just not going to be good at all.
That's an LMFAO in chat. That was not intentional.
Oh, that is just tragic. They had the banner. They could have swung out wide, but if your demo kill binds, what are you going to do?
And X has the level 2 set up on C already. A little bit too early, maybe. They're gonna find X. They're gonna find the gun. They're gonna find the telly. But
Pyrus kill bind that you can accidentally hit it in normal gameplay.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Mine is on I. I will never ever press I.
Oh, I'm even further out. I'm on equals.
Yeah, that one not working out well for him. And off of that death, they're going to lose C as well. They can't get up in time. Exile has Uber. Where's Exile standing? I don't even think they want to contest C. They're just giving it up. No, they're going to go late. They're going to go now. Where's the Pyro? Can they get stuff in the Shredder? Townsy has stickies on it. They're going to Uber through immediately.
Oh, this is a bad Uber.
Yeah, this is doomed.
This is a stinky Uber.
Yeah, late
get the force back out, but they're going to
that reeked of desperation.
Yeah, that... I mean, best case scenario, there's no harm from that, but that could have gone really bad.
Yeah, that just reeked of desperation. All of a sudden now no Uber to defend. We might see dry pushing come out. It's a level 1 sentry gun and heavy being set up in heaven right now. Arbiter is posted up and a big kill into Catalyst means the sentry gun has one less player that can spam it. So we'll have to see what the choice is. They're grouping up in Wishbone right now, Froggieland are. So we'll see if they want to swing wide, try to get this gun. There's a lot of people staring at them and Virgil's dead! Fish again finding the same med pick.
Oh, the team needs him when his team needs him most. Able to find that med pick, so that should stall the offense for a little bit. Give them some time, hopefully, to set up
can't
on
keep bleeding
E.
though. 20-second spawn timers and SAR's posted. Anyone else dies to this sniper, it's going to invite a lot more players to start flooding in.
And, oh, Arbiter wins the SDS, gets stabbed by Construed right after, right
SAR's
his own
already
spawn.
alive. Arbiter has 15 more seconds. That's what the spawn timers are like with 3. Yes, that's what the spawn timers are like when 3 points are capped. It is that bad. You cannot bleed on this defense at all if you are frauds.
Oh, but Virgil just caught out. One well-placed sticky pops her up, and she goes down. There's a free Uber coming out from the side of frauds. All the frauds are over. Exile even got a saw back.
It didn't give percentage, yeah. It extended.
Yeah, that is. Or it might have been unconscionable disguise either. Regardless, no, not actually 25%. Just shows up in the kill feed, but gun in Poseidon gets caught up with a gun and Wishbone and ends up in the pit.
Arbiter 1 HP, barely avoids the spam rockets from Catalyst, ends up keeping his life for now. Okay, here we have something cooking for the frauds. They have all their players alive in just a second. They have the key position set up. They got the Heaven, Heavy, and Sentry Gun. They got the other players playing in the connector from D. As long as they keep an eye on the rotations and don't lose any key players, things could be looking good for them.
Yeah, they don't have much lobby control, though, which is my one concern. D cap time was started, but the combo's still holding defensively back at the E spawn. Boy, he's gonna get hit up a lot, but Flu and Poseidon go down. Flu sniped out means that gun is not gonna be long for this world. But no, Arbiter gets the counter snipe. It could stall, but no, Heavy
Gun's gonna die for sure.
It's
but
gonna
at least
go
they
down.
can keep this. Kira has to do work here. Kira gets moistly, so no big heavy coming through
big
on the
rockets
point.
coming in from Catalyst. He will end up getting popped
had to
up
pop
and
Uber for that.
dies though. Yeah, he gets the Uber out, and that's full ad for Virgil. Fish, is he anywhere near to salvage? I don't think he is.
Nope, he was on a respawn timer until very shortly. Still needs to get back out there. The level 3 gun in Wishbone is going to be a big boon when it's pushed up in the middle of this Uber, and they're going to pop out immediately, trying to find spam on the players on this ramp. Some reflecting being done by Melon, but she's going to be the first casualty. Kira going to go down to his own explosive. They're losing tons of key players. Flu almost goes down. No engineer in this fight. It's a 6v8 in favor of Froggieland. Sentry Gun moved out here by Exa. It stays alive as well. That's going to be the end of the game unless miracle plays can happen. They still have the despawn doors to get out of, but they need to get all the kills now.
I need Kira to come up on loose cannon here.
True.
Kira, loose cannon. I don't think so.
No,
they're going around to lobby, but it might just be too little too late at this point.
The Sentry Gun's gonna deny them.
Oh, and they're getting
Zap.
SAR is already on the angle here. Good, they're all going to meet them. He's not even letting them through the door. That's it.
That's me, Froggieland taking the 2-0 on Steel, our third map. Things got to the very end, but Froggieland overall the better team on the day, using their pick of Steel in the tiebreaker to their advantage. Going to be advancing to the lower bracket finals, taking minimum 3rd place. As for the frauds, unfortunately for them, the season comes to an end tonight. A well-fought match overall, but they will be taking home 4th place and get none of the medal, prize money, or any of the rewards that the other 3 playoff teams get. So, you know, it's a sad day for frauds, but at least they did show us what they had going on product.
Yeah, and I mean, they definitely showed up there. I mean, only one round they won without Fish getting a med drop, but I mean, you know, that you rely on your pick classes, so that's perfectly fine. And yeah, Fish, feel bad. He really put in, you know, one hell of an effort tonight, but just was not in the cards. Froggieland overall just played much better as a team.
They're the better team on the day, for sure. And they'll have a chance. They'll have a rematch chance over at Squirtye. You know, they did end up losing that match 2-0. You can argue whether or not they should have lost their own map pick of Upward, what they'll have going for that, whether or not the pick ban changes for next week. That's something we'll have to look at. But yeah, that will be our next matchup. We're going to be casting next Monday. So look forward to that one. Logs in your screen right now. Townsy, 20 kills, 530 DPM. Big performance.
Yeah, really, really good job coming out of him. I mean, that's a monster KD. Almost doubled the next highest kills in the server. Arbiter at 12, Construed at 11. So, just, it's huge, really huge performance there. And I mean, no one else on his team even had... No, Catalyst had half his damage.
Not even.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
Not even. Yeah.
He doubled
Townsy
everyone
doubled the
else's
damage of
damage on
everyone
his
in
team.
his team, yeah.
Jeez. That's a demo canyon right there. That's a monster.
Yeah, I was
performance from
very pleased from what I saw in the Uber exchanges from him. Like people, they talk some smack about Townsy sometimes, but I've been in general impressed about how much he's improved in Uber exchanges. Whenever he's not dying off time, like demo man players seem to be magnetized to do, he's mechanically sound in Ubers, right? He gets a lot of damage in post. He puts the stickies where they need to be. So it's definitely nice to see him like come out and be like a strong demo man in high invite.
Yeah, no, he's played really well the past few weeks here, and I mean, you know, comparatively, right? I'm thinking about all those times he got triple kills within, you know, one to two stickies on product and post fights, right? As that like exact example of what you're talking about. Just able to be in the right position, takes the right positioning, and gets damage where it needs to be.
Yep, these are combined logs for steal overall. Townsy still top frag, top damage. And yeah, that was very okay. That we mentioned like pick ban and stuff coming into next week. You know, what map should you expect be played? What do you think here for Froggieland? Right, you just showed a pretty strong performance on Steel. You showed a strategy that the enemy team could not respond to. They could not stop it. You know, effectively. 4-minute offense, 8-minute defense. That's pretty consistent if you want to actually win Steel as a map for you. Do you think it's something they can look into next week against Squirtye? Maybe picking it earlier than third?
Ooh, that's tough because they also looked really good on Vigil. If Froggieland picks Upward next week, no, Swiftwater got banned. Well,
last week.
Are we talking about last week? Yes, Squirtye first banned Swiftwater.
Okay, so Vigil's on the cards then, yeah.
So the three stopwatch maps open were Vigil, Upward, and Steel. I'm uncertain if taking Steel first is the move. I'm inclined to say no, just because
it's Steel.
There's so much variance on it, right? And that picking it is almost a sign that, like, unless you are a Steel team, which I don't really think Froggieland is. I mean, they played really well tonight, right? But that one night on Steel does not make you a Steel team. I don't know how their scrims have been going on it, but I think they should... Assuming Swiftwater gets banned again, I don't see why it wouldn't if you're Squirtye. You go for Vigil first. Because they looked really well put together on Vigil, like really played really soundly. Whereas, even though they managed to take a half against Squirtye last week on Upward, that was on the back of Poseidon's divine performance. And if that doesn't happen, they get 2-0'd.
Performance worthy of a Greek god, if you will.
Yeah, they get 2-0'd on their own map pick. So I think Vigil is a much better pick for them. Otherwise, I don't think the map picks really need to change. I mean, if you're Squirtye, you know, you said, okay, we weren't really planning on beating them. I don't... Not that they were planning on losing, right? But I think if I'm Squirtye going into last week knowing how I've played, I'm more than likely expecting to win that 2-1 on Steel. But I think Froggy really underperformed on their own map pick, so Upward is not the pick for them. Whether or not they want to go Steel first, or Vigil first, or even Swift first if it's open, right? But again, don't see any reason why that wouldn't be the first ban map.
Yeah, we'll have to see what the teams think, as that will be a discussion they'll have sometime in this week. But that'll be it for us tonight. It was definitely a very entertaining match when all three halves. We are over midnight on the East Coast, so Tuesday Highlander, just barely. Oh yeah, but we'll be sending you guys off here, so I have no shoutouts to give. What about you, Alta?
Shoutouts to Carson for correctly predicting that we'd cast this match this week and not upper bracket finals when he came at me in the Discord last week. So shout out to that. And shout out to Proot. That map owns, and I almost wish we had casted upper brackets just so I could have seen it, even though it wasn't particularly close.
We might see it at the end of the season. It might even get picked, who knows, but Yeah, that's gonna do it for us here tonight. So thank you all for watching this lower bracket semi or round one match. Definitely was entertaining. You won't want to miss next week Scortier versus Froggieland for a chance at grand finals at Fighting Team Fun for the title. We'll see you next Monday. Have a good night.